What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I'm always your host, Round One. So, we got a lot of fights to cover. I want to recap all the top fights of 2026 so far. Who are the biggest winners and losers? Some of the biggest upsets that we witnessed so far. We're hitting around that midway point in 2026, and I want to know what you guys think about a lot of these moves in boxing. There's reports that Shakur Stevenson himself is finalizing his deal with who? Zuffa. Yes, you heard it right. Zuffa. We're gonna have my co-host Frontline come up. We're gonna read some of the top articles. We're gonna break down some of these top fights, all that and more. Don't forget to hit that like button. Do that for your boy. Subscribe to the channel. And like always, let's hop right into this episode. Let's go. What it do? What it do, my fighting brethrens? Hey, yo. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Any of the mothers that are watching, happy Mother's Day. Me and my wife had a great time, and we, you know, celebrated Mother's Day with her. And so we're back at it here at Round One Sports TV, and we have a lot to cover, a lot to break down. So far, we've had some of the biggest fights already this far into the year, right? And we had some real, I would say, interesting situations. I just witnessed on Zuffa Shane Mosley Jr. starch, right? Yo, listen, Sergey Boyacek, look, and remarkably, that's not the biggest upset of the year. That is not the biggest upset so far. We're gonna get to that. That was a big upset right there. And you know how they say in boxing, if you beat the man, you should take his place in line? Well, in this scenario, that's not the case. Shane Mosley has not passed Sergey Boyacek in no ranking. As a matter of fact, he still retains his ranking amongst the top fighters, and he really hasn't fell off because what many observers are starting to like, you know, after they get out of a prisoner in the moment, oh shit, they realize sometimes in fights, there's these things called a fluke fight. You put that guy in there with that guy again, 9 out of 10 times, he beats him 9 times. It's that one time. Teofimo Lopez lost to George Camboza. That was a fluke. Yes, he outbeat him, he outboxed him. Yes, but Teo couldn't get out of his head. It was just one of those nights. And I saw Shane Mosley Jr. at 35 years old catch him at the closing seconds of I believe it was the 5th round. And when he hurt him, he knew he could hurt him. He hit him on the button. Every man has that button. People are going to say, oh, Sergey sold out or he did this or did that. For what? That wouldn't benefit him in any way. So he lost. I just think it was a fluke. I think Shane Mosley, shouts out to you. You did what you needed to do. I think you got hit a little bit too much in the fight, but you pulled off one of the biggest upsets so far in 2026. The biggest upset, I believe, so far up to date is David Morrell getting starched by that Zach kid. Zach Chillian. That is the biggest upset so far. Why? That kid came in on 2 weeks' notice. David Morrell in Las Vegas, he was a 14-1 favorite. 14-1 going into that fight. David Morrell was supposed to go out there, wipe him down, get his name back up, right? Instead, he went out there started showboating a bit, was a little bit, now that I think about it, maybe a little bit of that showboating and taunted was nervous energy. Maybe he felt how strong Zach was punching, and he was trying to like show the kid, oh, you know, you're here to get your ass whooped. I'm the star. But what happened? I can tell you this. At the end of every championship round, 11th, 12th, once the fighter gets to the last rounds, like the 10th round, if it was only a 10-round fight, and the fighter gets to like a minute, that's when you're going to see the fighter leave everything in the ring because there's a light at the end of the tunnel. They know in the back of their mind there's no more rounds. There's not. I'm going to leave it all right here. And David Morale, he needed to weather the storm. He didn't have his legs underneath him. He didn't have the stamina to spin off the ropes. He couldn't nullify Zach's attack for the last round to win the fight. He was ahead on the scorecards. That has got to be the biggest upset so far of 2026. When I saw Brandon Figueroa knock out Nick Ball in the last round, it wasn't so much as an upset, but surprising and shocking. That was just a surprising and a knockout that really came out of nowhere. That's the difference between surprising and the biggest upset. No one, and I mean no one had Zach. Who the hell was Zach before that knockout? He truly made himself. Now, one of the biggest comeback fights of 2026 has to be Daniel Dubois versus Fabio Warley. Now, that comeback, my friend, you were down twice. You got 2-10-8 rounds against you. Listen, I was watching on my live. I was saying, if Daniel Dubois can just keep it together, Warley's going to fall apart. He's got no championship experience, zero, no amateur experience. He's throwing everything, all bombs.
He gassed out early too.
Because of the way he didn't know how to control a fight. That's
Shout,
championship experience.
shout out to the chat too. We got Bull Rider in the building. Says, "What's up, round one? Long time no here.
Mm-mm.
What's up, fellas?
What up? What up?
Mr. Itachi's in the building. He said, hit the like. Adi Mishra. Hello, bro. Mr. Itachi says, so far so good. All my guys been winning. We gonna knock Shushu out cold. Mr.
Yeah,
Itachi
yeah,
slow.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
well, it depends who. If it's
Hey,
Angelo
yo,
Leo, I got Angelo Leo. I got Angelo Leo.
read it. You know what I'm saying? He wrote it.
There's a message that I'm gonna read that you're gonna be fucking. You're
Go
gonna be like,
ahead.
oh, wait, stop right there.
Let's go. Keep reading.
Bull Rider says, what's up, frontline, Mr. Itachi? Them rankings are gonna update. UFC does the ranking updates on Tuesday. Benavidez broke Morel, 100% facts. Ismail Salas happened. He's overrated. Another fact.
Damn.
Boxing fan says hi. Mr.
Salute.
Itachi says, when we knock out Inoue, that'll be the biggest upset. Mexico flag.
That would be a big upset, but that's a prayer, so that's never happened. So wishing on a star. Okay,
All right, so
continue.
listen, real quick. Ismail Salas.
Oh my God.
He's a good trainer, but what he's good for is the old style of Cuban fighting. He is good for an example, and I'm gonna give you a perfect example. He's good for Rolly. You want to know why? Because Rolly never had the fundamentals. Rolly is just a brute fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Ismail Salas now coming in training Rolly, he's teaching him the fundamentals. which
So,
makes Ro
so what you're saying, Rolly's like clay.
who's Clay.
He's molding them because Rolly needs it
Yes,
from
yes,
the
yes, yes,
yes. He
yes.
doesn't know how to take the Cuban style and incorporate it with the pro style.
Correct. So someone like Morel has the fundamentals already in the basket.
Hmm.
What Morel needs is if I was Morel's team, like manager or whatever, I would look for a Mexican, Puerto Rican, or an American trainer. I would stay away from Cuban trainers. I would stay away from UK trainers, and I'd stay away from any other country trainer. It would I would lean with Morel's style. I would lean more towards a Mexican trainer. You know who would do good? I would say Robert Garcia, but Robert Garcia has too many people in his camp, and Morel's the type of fighter that
I
he's gonna need a one on one. Somebody
I
who's
Yeah,
go ahead.
I actually think I don't know. I'm just throwing the name out there. Joe Diaz.
Joe Diaz is a good one.
Yeah,
Joe Diaz is a
I'm
good one.
MJ and Cardenas is coach.
That'll be a good one. I was thinking Robert Garcia at first, but then I thought about it. He's got too many people in his stable, and Morel right now needs more of a quote unquote one on one. Then I thought about Banda. Banda also
Mm,
would be a good trainer, but again, he has too many people in his stable. It'll be hard for him to get that one on one. I didn't think of Joe Diaz. Joe Diaz is probably a good one. I also thought about Manny Robles. Same thing.
mm-hmm,
Manny Robles,
mm-hmm,
too many people in his camp.
mm-hmm,
But Joe Diaz, bro, that's a good one. Um, I don't know why he left Ronnie Shields because Ronnie Shield was actually doing real good.
mm-hmm. Maybe I don't know. Maybe their language barrier, or I don't know. Now, Ronnie Shields worked with a lot of guys too with different
Yeah,
language barriers, so I don't think that was it. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. But look, as far as some of the biggest fights to kick off for 2026, some of levels of difficulties and what happened in some of these fights, we just seen David the Monster Benavidez come up and stop Zuldo from a 25-pound weight jump. And I want you to keep that in mind that a lot of onlookers looking in on that fight with David the Monster Benavidez didn't believe he would have the punching power to move such a big man in Zuldo, but he did, and he stopped him. Even fights where there were other big matches in 2026, Naoya Inoue with Junto. Now that, my friend, were two high skilled, very accomplished fighters, multiple division fighters. And that fight to be proven, I believe, still Naoya Inoue's biggest challenge, because Naoya Inoue didn't starch Junto like he starched everybody else. Just ask Stephen Kubo Fulton. When I went back and I watched that fight, in fact, of Stephen Kubo Fulton, that's going to turn out, and it's going to, that fight is going to, with time, it's going to be a classic. That fight. That was a real classman performance by Naoya Inoue, the way he shut a fighter like Stephen Kubo Fulton, all the adjustments that Stephen Kubo Fulton made, all the reads, everything. That fight was truly a lot better than, what I thought. When I go back and I watch it. So when I watched that Junto and Naoya Inoue scrap, I really saw boxing at its highest level. I saw Shakur Stevenson go out there to be what his toughest opponent in Teofimo Lopez, and he made Teofimo Lopez look like he didn't belong in the ring with him. I don't know if Tio won more than 2 rounds or if one in that entire fight. At least Junto and Naoya Inoue, he won some rounds. And it shows that his competition was there with him. We saw other big fights, and belt switch hands here, and we're about to see good title defenses. Abdullah Mason making a title defense on his WBO title, and he's bringing a lot of people out there with him. Fighters like Bruce Carrington, Tiger Johnson, and he's bringing him out to the dance floor and having a big night on his big moment for Cleveland. Can he bring Cleveland the win and the title defense that the Cleveland and the fight fans rightfully deserve? Or is Joe Cardena is going to play spoiler? Is he going to upset the cart and walk off with Mason's belt? We have a lot of great boxing, but I want to talk about some of boxing's top headlines. So, Frontline, can you bring out one of boxing's, which I think is one of boxing's biggest moments, because we're going to get into this, the rumors about Shakur Stevenson signing to Zuffa Boxing. What do you have on that?
So there's two. There's one with obviously just Shakur. And then there's one with Shakur and Devin Haney. I'm gonna talk about the Shakur. It says Shakur Stevenson to join Sufa Boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Shakur Stevenson is reportedly close to signing with Dana White's Sufa Boxing, a move that would give the new promotion one of boxing's top pound for pound talents. The unified. Now this is where it kills me, and you guys follow me.
Yep.
The unified junior welterweight champion
Excuse
is
me. Excuse.
coming.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Stop right there. Did you say unified? The junior? You? How is he unified?
The unified
Well,
junior
where he's
welterweight champion is coming off a major win over Teofimo Lopez, where he captured the WBO
in the ring?
and the Ring Magazine
They're
titles.
trying to talk up the ring, and yo, is the boxing world listening to me? Is that what's going on here? Yo, how many times did I say on my show, right, that the ring has no value? It didn't give Teofimo Lopez unified status when he had the ring in the WBO, right? All of
Yep.
a sudden, Shakur Stevenson gets it, and now that when they report it, they're going to acknowledge him as a unified champion, meaning that they're recognizing the ring as a real world. When did this happen? When did the Ring Magazine belt become a real world title? Because
No clue.
throughout my hit boxing history, anyone, please, if anyone knows the date, please educate us. Because from what I'm told, it was a one belt era, a two belt era, a three belt era, and a four belt era. And
And and
in those eras, where did the ring play a factor? I just want to know.
and to top it off, this is a question
Them
that
shiesty mofos, they called them a unify. What do you
I
think? That I
heard.
was just gonna let that go?
No, but the crazy part is
What?
this is I want somebody in the chat or maybe even you can answer this for me. Max Kellerman, right? He keeps talking this ring shit, right?
Yep.
Why wasn't he talking that ring shit when Oscar had it since 2007
Because
to
he wasn't hired.
2024?
Okay, wait a minute. Isn't Max Callahan working
Kellerman.
and report? Say his name.
Kellerman.
Kellerman. Isn't Max Kellerman working for the Ring Magazine?
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
They pay his paycheck. Am I correct?
Yep.
Okay. So the irony in him coming out now and saying that the ring belt is the best belt or that it is a world championship from the very people that own that said title, and you work for them. So we're supposed to go by what he says? No one in the world can see. Oh, no shit. Well said from a guy that works for the company that is saying that their belt is a legit world championship. Dude, really, you know what I'm saying?
Yo,
It
and
doesn't mean anything.
shout out to D1 with Angry White Man podcast.
What up?
Bro, he's been cooking on this shit for the past couple days.
Has he?
He's been cooking.
Yo, I gotta go back and check it out,
He's
man. I
been
haven't been able. Yo,
cooking.
my bag, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Angry
That's
white
Mother's
guy.
Day weekend. You know what I'm saying? We get it. Yo, shout
Mm-hmm.
out to Carcast Box. I'm gonna cook Carcast later though. Carcast, me and him got a little beef because he glazing Tio all of a sudden. Me and him got to talk. Sacklebow says, "Salute, gentlemen. You forgot to question mark on your title again. Smack. You got like the smack in his face emoji. Um, clickbait. Clickbait. Oh, he's saying there's a clickbait title. Hey, you're here. Welcome.
What clickbait title?
Tune
We're
in.
talking about Shakur Stevenson, and finish reading the article about Shakur Stevenson and signing. What happened?
Um, so if the salam alaikum. Hold on. Let me get out this right here. Boom. If the deal goes through, if the deal's finalized, Stevenson would join a growing Sufa roster that already includes names such as Connor Ben, Jay Opataya, and Richardson Hitchens. Again, no mention of Haney.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Mannix reported that Stevenson is finalizing the move, adding to months of speculation around Sufa's interest. Previous rumors suggested a possible three-fight deal worth $60 million, though exact terms have not been confirmed. Stevenson has already shown interest in major financial opportunities, saying that if $60 million was being offered, he was ready to make the call. With Sufa backed by Turkey Al Sheikh and TKO, the promotion appears willing to spend heavily to attract elite fighters. The move could open the doors to major in-house matchups, including a possible fight with Conor Ben or a meeting with former rival Richardson Hitchens. Stevenson has also mentioned interest in returning to 135 pounds to face the IBF champion Raymond Murataya. For now, the deal's not official, but Stevenson joining Sufa would be undeniably a major statement. The credit is the ring.
Now, Max Kellerman, right, and other sources have broke this story about Shakur Stevenson, and that they're just finalizing, I guess, what they're saying in Zuffa, tier one, tier two type shit, right? That's what I could, because Shakur Stevenson said he wanted to unify with Raymond Morataya. So that's not fighting for the Sufa belt. So I can imagine that there's particulars there, but that Sufa is showing interest in who? A lot of top American fighters. Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney. These are rumors, speculation so far. Nothing confirmed. Devin's all over social media, $100 million deal. Ironically, I just want you to pay attention that this is coming from the same man that invented the one liner, Tom and Jerry. And in reference to two particular fighters, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, both, and I repeat, boring fighters. American boring fighters. That's what they told you. Tom and Jerry, they don't want no cat and mouse. They want to see a fight. But all of a sudden, look who they're requiring the services of. Tom and Jerry? Seems like you want to pay Tom and Jerry a whole lot of money. $100 million? That's a lot of money for a boring fighter. Or wouldn't that be a lot of money for an exciting fighter? An exciting fighter that they can take what they were saying off of him and let the man be what he already was. An exciting fighter. But they're going to come and tell you, Tom and Jerry, when it was convenient, while they were paying their fights, still calling them that. Because mind you, Turkey was still flipping the bill back then. So he can say that, right? They didn't go get any other fighter. No, these are the fighters they're going to go get. So, what do I think about this Zuffa move? What do I think? Same shit I thought yesterday. Let them prove themselves. Let them prove themselves. Are you going to take our young men, bring them over to Zuffa, and have them fighting on a schedule of the best of the best of the best, beating down your fighters like horses? And are they going to be like broken horses within a year? Because they're going to have to hold the Zuffa boxing name. And they're going to start putting them same fighters on a rotation. After a year of this, after all the beginning and the first date goes off and the romance ends, the honeymoon, let's see how Zuffa treats their fighters. Let's see what they're saying after the honeymoon period is over. That's
Well,
all I'm saying.
I'll take it a step further. I'll take it a step further. Let me ask you something. And everybody in the chat, God honest truth. I want the God honest truth from everybody. Were you or were you not excited about this past Sufa card? I'll give you my answer now. I wasn't.
With this, the only thing that happened is that Shane Mosley pulled off that. Okay, now, mind you,
And I don't know the name, but there was a dude from France that
oh
fought an
yeah,
American. Bro, they robbed that kid blind.
listen, look, let me tell you something right now, right? Okay, just like I have my opinion and I'm reserved with them, I work with Zuffa. I'll work with them. I won't be as far as a crazed fan and say what their product that they're giving us right now is their best. No, they're starting off. It's just like any business trying to get lifted off the ground. So, okay, Zuffa, this is what you're giving us right now. But I see all the signing deals. You already got Richard Hitchens. You already got Edgar Berlanga. You already got Jairo Pataya. You already got, and then the list is going on. So I'm expecting bigger fight cards, yes. And like I said, I'm a bit more reserved, seeing that even Matchroom sold 15% of their stock. Do you have that story on that too, as well?
Which one?
Matchroom.
Yeah. So Matchroom, let me get that one pulled up for you. Which one is that? Matchroom.
Matchroom sold 15 of their stock to an
15%. Hold on.
percent to an American
Financial
entertainment
company. It's a
financial
financial.
company. Okay, financial company. Right. But they still have the majority, the Hearns, that Ed Hearn's dad still has the
Yes.
majority share of it. So you got to pay attention to these kind of moves, guys. And I think the reason why they did that move is also to cater to the American audience so that they can start building relationships, like that. Because Matchroom is a company, a promotional company that deals in a lot of different entities. As you saw their little Netflix special, they was making money, on darts and shit. They're into a lot of stuff.
Here we
So
go. It's Matchroom sells the minority stake to a U.S. investment firm. Matchroom has sold 15% minority stake to a U.S. investment firm, Bruin Capital, with the Hearn family retaining majority ownership of the sports promotional company. The Essex based business, founded by Barry Hearn in 1982 and now led alongside Eddie Hearn, is best known for its boxing, darts, and snooker events. Eddie will continue as group chairman while Barry remains founder and president, with Bruin joining Matchroom's board of directors. Financial terms were not disclosed, but a report by Financial Times suggested Matchroom is valued at more than £1 billion. That would place Bruin's stake at around 150 million. Barry Hearn said the deal will help drive a major push into the United States, especially with darts. We want to make a massive push into America. He said, if you want to create a monster, where do you want the biggest monster to live? Probably the USA.
Mm,
Eddie Hearn also pointed to global growth, saying the partnership gives Matchroom the ability to accelerate the expansion in the United States and beyond. Bruin founder George Pine
right.
praised Matchroom as one of the most important independent sports businesses in the world, highlighting opportunities in live events, media rights, and sports intellectual property.
Yep.
Matchroom's biggest names include Anthony Joshua in boxing and darts world champion Luke Littler through the PDC Tour.
Right. And listen, you fan where it goes from there. We also have like big fight cards now also kicking off. And look, I tell you guys this much, right? There were a lot of things said about Zuffa before I go into the fight cards, the rest of the fight cards that we have up and coming to kick off the ending of the year. Um, well, at least into September. I want to say this much about Zuffa. Okay, guys, check this out. I thought a lot about this organization, this boxing organization. And many people already came to social media and said that Zuffa was our savior. They were like the new coming of Christ. And I said, listen, don't be so eager to hop aboard. Just from afar, let's watch their product. I never said do not tune in to a Zuffa fight card because I watched them myself. Unfortunately, this one came around Mother's Day time and stuff, and I just couldn't entertain the card right now, right? But what I had to do was just watch Sufa closely, watch what they're giving us and everything. Damn, this phone is going off. Hold on.
We'll catch up
And
with the
what
chat.
I wanted, what I wanted to do was just to inform you guys, just not to be like all gun ho about them and start to praise them. And when your favorite fighter jumps ship and go over to Zuffa, that's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to acknowledge that. I tell you what, right now a lot of fighters are being praised for not signing on the dotted line. But I can guarantee you one thing. If Tank Davis himself waked up tomorrow morning and signed to Zuffa, guess what you guys would do? Run over to Zuffa. You think anybody else is just everybody that already don't like him are just gonna say that he's sold out? Well said from a person that didn't like him. Of course you were gonna say that. His fans are gonna migrate with him. And at the end of the day, I gotta be honest. We're all prize fighters, aren't we? Whoever's paying the most money, guarantee money, well, then I think I'm going to go that way. I'm not sure if you boxing fans are sometime aware of the ugly truth in boxing that unless that money says guarantee money, there have been fights in history that fighters didn't even get paid. The promoter said we didn't make enough at the gate. We didn't sell enough tickets. We didn't get enough this. So we couldn't pay you. The actual person that went in there and took punches to the face. There have been situations in boxing matches that people are still waiting on money. Shit, Floyd Mayweather said people still owed him money. When the fights do not say guaranteed, you are not guaranteed to get that paycheck. So when Sufa's coming around and they're putting this money, and that money's right there. It's like working a 9 to 5 and knowing on Friday you will receive your paycheck rather than working under the table and your boss says, I got to pay you next week. So those are fighters' options. And when they're running over to Zuffa right now, I don't know if they're running into a mousetrap. Why? Because the trap hasn't gone off yet. You understand? I'm pretty sure when those people slaughtered those people on Thanksgiving, they made a table. They put out the best food, napkins, some silverware. They fed them, got them nice and fat. What'd they do? Slaughtered all of them. Right? Let me tell you something right now. I don't fall for any sad story I hear. And Zuffa's going to have to prove themselves. I'm not a man on a campaign disrespecting competition. In fact, I hope Zuffa is everything they set out to be and more. Someone needs to save boxing. Someone needs to help us. Somebody has to be the boxing police. And I believe this entire time that's exactly what we've needed. A sanctioned, a body, a separate entity of police that calls every promoter, every event, and call them out on their shit. Make them all obey by one rule structure, one scoring system, no matter where you are. And that the boxing police cannot be bribed because they don't have no connections to no one. You understand? They'll be like the doctors of the world. You ever see a doctor, right? You don't think they're that powerful, right? But a doctor is actually like one of the most powerful entities on the earth, on planet Earth. Why do I say that? Okay. A doctor can overrule a judge. A doctor can tell a cop to get out of his operating room. If you want to talk to the witness, the doctor walks in and says he can't talk right now. They got to turn around. A doctor can order you, oh, he's crazy, put him in a mental health. They are powerful. But you think that the judges, the cops, all the big entities you see right in front of your face, that will be the boxing police. No one could, you got to give them that power where they could step in and be like, yo, nope, you don't got no instant replay? Then this fight can't continue. Then get up on your shit for the safety of the boxers. Where's the ambulances on the standby? Where's your doctors? Who's paying? Let's go. No Tom and Jerry. You know what I'm saying? This ain't, and like, it's just to protect the fighters because these guys are taking punches to the face. Where's the insurance for these guys? For after the care? Where's these? Let's get a police that you register as a fighter. You get put money into something for yourself. Let's get these boxers help. Let's not just get, some of these boxers come from obscurity and you give them all this money and expect them to figure it out. It's just a recipe for disaster. So I think that something needs to be in place for the future and the ending of boxers' careers. But it has to be something, not a promise, not a broken promise from the WBC. Oh, we promised to help. Get the fuck. That's up to your discretion. Put something that is there, that is for all boxers. Put something that every time they fight, they put something towards. When you retire, this is for you. If you mess up your money, everything you learn, there's learning curves. No one teaches us how to be broke, and then we think we got to save everyone. And you don't understand. You haven't even saved yourself. Learning about taxes, learning about liens and foreclosures, learning about what the APR rate on something is. These kids don't know that shit. They don't know the value of a dollar. They don't know what they see all this fake gold shit and they think they gotta go buy that. Like that's real. And it gets crazy. So I think that something needs to be put in place for boxers. Yes. I'm not sure if Zuffa's that. Just because you came in and you changed the schedule, you guaranteed a dollar amount. That doesn't fix boxing. You're just another entity that's bleeding these fighters dry. You're lining your pockets off their blood, sweat, and tears. Where is the real help? Where is the change? Why? Because it's better? Because they got you in some shiny shorts? They got a little structure? How does that benefit the fighter? Where's the real help come
Well,
from?
that's where I was getting at with the who enjoyed the card, because that card, the ring entrance for each fighter, boring. The fucking outfits they wear, boring. Like they got no swag. They look just like some
Wait,
fucking
wait right there,
generic ass
sir.
shorts.
Thank you very much, Frontline, for being a great co-host and mentioning a key point. What is up with the favoritism? Why did, right? What's his name? The one that fought Shane Mosley Jr.
Boachuk?
Boachuk. Thank you. Why is Boachuk get to wear blue shorts?
No, they got I think 4 or 5 colors.
Oh, now they say that. Everybody else wore black and white. Isn't he the only fighter that wore a different color all the way up until this point?
No,
Who?
no, no, no.
Who wore a different color?
There was another boxer that wore I think turquoise or like a greenish color.
It's all, yo, that's the favoritism I'm talking about. I bet you he was from another country.
Probably.
Yo, like, man, if you're like from out there with those colors, like the Ukrainian colors, the blue and the yellow, bro, they let him throw on them blue collar pants awfully fast for me. It's not like the American dude can come out with the the pinstripes, the red, white, and blue. At least let us rock that, right? For the American fighter. All these other guys, man, they got different color shorts already.
Yeah.
I was like, look at Shane Mosley's son in the company's attire. And homeboy styling. He at least he got the blue ones. And I bet you that other turquoise dudes was some probably up whoever he was. Somebody could put it in the chat. It's like, bro, they don't. What about us? Like, and man, listen, it's just
And that'll take away from the name. Like for an example,
that's
you got Devin Haney. Regardless of how I feel about Devin Haney, you gotta admit he be going in there with some outfits that be they be fire. Shakur Stevenson,
yeah.
fucking Tank. If Tank, I know Tank's not with Sufa, but I'm just saying, um, Agri Balanga. You got
Yo,
these.
the most fire um outfit I seen of late that I can remember. A lot of everybody's other shit was a little flashy, the tassel thing, shit like that. But one of the most creative outfits was Stephen Kubo Fulton's, and they gave him a lot of shit about that. That Philly outfit was fire.
Oh, when he went
The-
in with the Tims, like
yeah, he went in with the Tims and
the
the
tees.
jean. Yeah, it looked like jean shorts and Tims, but they weren't real Tims. They were really boxing shoes
Yeah.
drawn out to look like Tims, and they were real boxing shorts drawn out to look like jeans. But it was just the way, the style. He brought it back with the bandana like the 90s. Like his swagger was like Philly in the 90s. When it was mad dangerous, we was out there with the long passing your knees type, you know what I'm saying? Just his whole outfit was fire. I mean, the way he came in from the dressing room, yo, that whole outfit attire, whoever designed that, I thought that was, I was like, boy, that boy
All right, Edwin,
took it back to the 90s.
let me catch up with the chat before it
Yeah,
gets out
go
of hand.
ahead.
808 Shorts says Jay Opataya will beat the doggish out of David Benavidez. Wrong. Can he beat him? Possibly. I doubt it. But beat the dog shit? Nah. Not happening. Can he beat him? Maybe. Possibility. It is boxing. But beat the dog shit out of him? Not happening. Mule says Sufa is not here to take part. They are here to take over. QS 17 in the building. Vince Jackson's in the building. He says Earl Spence will handle business. Deep.
He-
I think that layoff's gonna hurt him. But
He's
uh,
fighting an active fighter in Tim Tszyu. An active fighter that Tim Tszyu beat the shit out of Tony Harrison, right? Tony Harrison is a decent boxer, a smart one. And Tim Tszyu walked that man down. Now, Tim Tszyu's not fighting no 6'6", towering inferno where you come in with all the attribute. You're fighting a guy that came off a 3-year layoff. Now, I'm going to remind you with something. What was the one thing that cost Errol Spence Jr. the fight with Terrence Crawford? The one,
accident.
no, but that was after, before he already signed the contract and went in. The one thing on fight night that we all can see that was apparent that Errol Spence Jr. had ring rust, inactivity. He was coming off a long layoff, in fact, before he entered the ring with Terrence Crawford. That in the fight, leading into the fight, he was registered as an inactive fighter. After the fight, he got his ranking. You understand? So the reason why I say that is because his inactivity didn't have him up to fight night speed. He couldn't judge Terrence Crawford's speed or the fight. Because although he was in shape, sparring shape, you're not on fight night. That's why we say active fighters. If these fighters stay active, they'll have a better performance. Just like we saw one time Keith Thurman look horrible against Sebastian Fundora. Too much inactivity. Errol Spence Jr. is not up to fight night after 3 years out of the ring. He's not up when you get up in there and you fighting without sparring or none of that other stuff, right, in the way, right? What you're doing is you're being this is really dangerous for Errol Spence Jr. to pick out Tim Tszyu. I think it's a mistake. Even though Tim Tszyu's competition hasn't been like up to par with a fighter that once was Errol Spence Jr. Yeah, that's what he once was. 6 years ago, 7 years ago, you tell me Errol Spence Jr. was going to fight Tim Tszyu. I got Errol Spence Jr. all day, twice on Sunday. Right? There's no question about that. I wouldn't even doubt it. Now, Errol, you're coming off one of the biggest losses and ass whoopings you have ever received in the sport of boxing. What that does to your mental is also you identify that you weren't the best, that there was levels above you. The doubt, the embarrassment, the way you lost is all right there. For 3 years, it took you to come back to show your face in the sport of boxing. You finally come back, and the man you pick out is active Tim Tszyu. You didn't take a real tune. I wouldn't call this a tune-up fight. I'm calling this a fight. Because there's nothing tune-up about Tim Tszyu. Yeah, he got his fair share of losses. Okay. But listen, a real fighter, man, that stays active against a guy that's coming out of inactivity with a big name. Boxing always teaches me to pick activity. It always teaches me that. This right here, my friend, It's just fans being loyal and you're willing to go down with your boy. That, hey, listen, I'm not putting no money on it, so I'm gonna go with Errol Spence Jr., of course. I'm gonna take the American in it. But if I had told you to put your hard-earned dollar on it, unfortunately, I might side with Tim Zoo because Errol got a lot of proving to do. What version of Errol Spence Jr. are you gonna get back? Can you definitively say that, listen, um, this is gonna sound crazy, right? But I actually think it's the truth. The version that fought Terrence Crawford don't beat this Tim Zoo. That guy that was in the ring with Terrence Crawford doesn't beat Tim Zoo. Not that slow ass dude. Not that guy that wasn't even popping that jab. Not that guy that was shying away. Not that guy that couldn't even fight with hand and place fit foot movement. Wasn't even flowing together. Fuck what Terrence Crawford was doing. What did Errol Spence Jr. look like in the ring? And I can't even say that was all doing part to Terrence Crawford. Like he made him look bad. No. Errol Spence Jr., you just look bad. That's the God honest truth. That is the God honest truth. Errol, you look bad from the beginning bell. At no point in that fight did you look like the Errol Spence Jr. that fought Kell Brook. Ugas, Danny Garcia. No. No. So, shit, from that fight, he's not been the same fighter. And all of a sudden, the boxing world wants me to go crazy and just say, oh shit, Errol Spence Jr. is returning. You know, he's a dog. You know, he had 3 belts. He's going to whoop Tinzu's ass. Yeah, 7 years ago, he would have. Yeah. Yeah, he would have. This version of Errol Spence Jr., is that what you're talking about? I'm not sure about that. We are talking about boxing and being honest, right? Just not to just, I'm not an Errol Spence Jr. fanboy. I report boxing here. And the truth is the truth. Round 1, what? What has boxing taught you? Well, when all else checks out, the fighter, their level, when all that checks out, what else? What do I have to fall back on? Okay, what have you been doing lately? What have you been doing? Who have you been fighting? Who have you been fighting? Those are our measuring sticks. That's our information. That's how we know how to judge these fighters according. But yet, when it comes to certain fighters, sometimes us boxing fans, we go, we get stupid. We get crazy. All of a sudden, we're up there placing wagers and bets on a prayer. You knew the whole time. You knew the whole time. That little boxer that lives inside of your head was telling you the entire time the truth. But we choose to ignore it sometimes for our favorite fighters. Fuck it. Some of us, we're not in it to fucking, we're just in it to be a fan. And we can care less if we lose a couple bucks and have a great night, but we got to see our favorite fighter. True fan. Those guys, hey, those are the ones that they'll live, die, rock with you. They don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? They still gonna place they bet with their heart. They're gonna get their heart broken, but they don't care. Because the next day that guy is still their guy. Real fan. But there's that guy out there that he wants a parlay and he wants a miss and match. And he sees the name. You know what he does? That's the name. I didn't recognize that name. You're not doing your homework.
All right,
You're
Edwin,
just
we gotta
betting.
catch up with the
So,
chat.
yeah, go ahead.
Shout out to Jason Ayala in the building. Says, "What's up, round one, the front line." Sacklebow says the uniforms are the least of the problems. If it's fired to ghetto people. Bull Rider says, Boots Ennis got some good fits. Future Clean says y'all still crumping out here, whatever that means. Sacklebow says boots? Question. LOL, that dude be wearing feathers and skirts. D D1 says the only way you're beating David Benavidez is knocking him unconscious. Short of that, you're gonna have a long night. Facts. D1, what do you think of people trying to make Benavidez go to heavyweight? I disagree, says Sacklebow. Mr. Caffeine is in the building. Salute Edwin, frontline in chat. Spence was drugged up. Everyone knows that. Says Sacklebow. D1, sack me too, bro. Hammer Unk. Salute round one in frontline. Salute. D1 says, go ahead. You would say something?
Yeah, look, there were clues on that night. Now, look, I'm real careful with my words, right? When you come out and you're trying to accuse or say something. Now, I'm going to say that what I'm about to say is my opinion. I have no facts to back this up, okay? But I have my doubts and speculation. On the night of the fight, when Errol Spence Jr. walked into that ring, I know that Errol Spence Jr., his entire career, he has like this glassy eye kind of like look. Now, throughout, me growing up in the hood and shit, I know a lot of brothers, right? And I know dudes with that kind of look. They kind of look glassy eyed, a little high, but they're not. It's just, it's like that's their eyes. But on that night, it wasn't his glassy eyes, it was his eyelids and his droopy face. Now, I've seen that before in the hood. And I got to tell you, round one sports talk, man, I've not always been on this side of the fence in my life. Maybe I dealt in pharmaceutical drugs on the street, street pharmaceutical drugs. And you know, every experience in life, you start to notice things when people come around you because this is around your neighborhood. And that look, my friend, I've seen it more than once. I've seen it more than once. And I had to say, yo, Errol, you're not looking too good there. Then I followed the breadcrumbs, right? Because who am I to just make an accusation? So it's not what happened. It's what Errol Spence Jr. himself said next. The next time I saw Errol Spence Jr., they talked to him in an interview. I forgot who was interviewing him. They said, Errol, what happened in the fight? Errol said he had a broken rib. A broken rib. He said that he had suffered that going into the fight, but he didn't want to pull out the fight because it's been backed up so many times. So what did they do? Errol Spence Jr. himself said that they cleared his doctor to give him a shot in his rib. Now, I watched this interview myself. Errol Spence Jr. himself said that. Now, is the second he said that, I said to myself, Edwin, what? Out of all your years playing every sport, basketball, football, baseball, shit, I even play hockey, boxing,
You
swimming.
ain't play no damn hockey. You know
Yes, I
Puerto Ricans
did.
don't ice
Yes, I
skate.
did. Yes,
Puerto
we
Ricans
did.
don't ice
Yes,
skate.
we
Get the
did.
fuck out
Yes,
of
we
here.
did. In the inner city fucking league thing there that they
Now,
had, we got a team. We
now,
got our
now, now,
asses kicked.
if you say
No, it
rollerblading
wasn't no roller. It was on feet with the orange ball. We didn't win. We
on
didn't win.
feet or on ice skates.
No, on feet.
Oh, okay. You said
The
hockey.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
hockey, like
ice
outside
hockey.
hockey. Not
Oh
outside.
no. Yeah, I was
Outside
about to
hockey
say
in
because
the
Puerto Ricans
arenas. In
don't
the
skate. Yeah,
arenas.
Puerto Ricans don't
No, no,
skate.
no.
No,
We
we
didn't
don't
get on no
skate.
ice skates. No. We lost too. We lost badly. But we still played.
Yeah,
Right?
not our sport.
But listen, but that's what kind of athlete I am. I've played a handball, racquetball, tennis. I could play baseball. I'm a great shortstop, second baseman. I got a cannon. Um, I've played every sport. Now, I said all of that to say this. Out of all the injuries I've have ever sustained in sports, you know how many times I've fractured my ribs? And out of every time I've gone to the hospital and I've ever looked for anything, never in my history of anyone I've ever been around ever fractured their rib and they had a shot for it. Never. They always put that bandage on you and tell you to lay down and don't tell any funny jokes because you're going to laugh and you're going to hurt your ribs, right? That's it. A cortisone shot does not work for your ribs. A cortisone shot will go in your knee, your shoulder. It'll go practically almost anywhere. But this is a fractured bone here that doesn't relieve pain. You understand? So when he said that the doctor shot a shot into his rib, I was like, what did he fucking put in your rib, Arrow? Cement? Glue? Some healing solvent that fused your rib together? What shot could he have given you? Oh, a pain and sedative. What
Well,
makes sense to me,
Bobo says, remember that girlfriend of Spence kept him pilled up.
hold up. Check this out. What shot would they give you all to relieve the pain? So we're talking pain sedatives here. Something strong enough so that you don't feel a body shot? Why didn't you give that to Ryan Garcia when he went into the Tank Davis fight? And the boxing committee approved such a shot? Because you didn't test positive for nothing when after the fight. So apparently that was okayed. Whatever they shot in your side, right, had you seen triple. Because by the time you got out the locker room and made it to the ring, Errol, it looked like you had already been out on the night of the town in Las Vegas. That's what it looked like. And
Yeah,
like I said, when I first started this entire thing, this is my opinion. I don't have anything to back this, or I wasn't in the room. I'm just going by what Errol told us. That's what the man said. That's what I'm questioning. I'm saying in my listen, I've been in a lot of injuries. Okay? I'm a brute, bro. Playing football, we getting it, right? And I'm not afraid to break bones and nothing. So I've been to the hospital a couple times. I never say, oh yeah, hey, doctor, give me that rib shot. You know, the one takes you right up. The one that you can take and enter a professional boxing round scheduled for 36 minutes on the night of the fight. Give me that shot. Because apparently whatever you're giving me has to take effect for it to be able to be a benefit for me. You're not going to give me a shot that's going to work 2 days later. Why would you take the shot? Whatever they gave him was supposed to help him in the moment. Am I right? Am I right? You don't take something, oh no, it'll take a week to, no. So when I go to the hospital next time, I'm going to look at the doctor right in the eyes and say, give me that Errol Spence Jr. shit. Right here. Let me get that. Because apparently the NFL needs to find out what the fuck that shit is. It doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense to me. So I said, brother, they gave you a pain sedative. They gave you something to numb you. You was fucked up. You got in that ring, bro, you was probably seeing triple. I don't got nothing to back that but just my life experiences. You know, I've been around a few people that put some things in their nose. Doesn't make them a bad person, you know, it just makes me aware. I've dealt with shit like that. And not everybody like that is, you know, but I what I was real what I was really thrown back by was not even just that, not even the shot on the night, just the history. Brother, you flipped your Corvette, Lamborghini, Ferrari, whatever the freaking model was of the car. It doesn't really matter, right? You flipped your car that many times. Did you guys remember the pictures of Errol Spence Jr.? Remember his lip was peeled to the white meat, right? His face was pink, right? He was rocked. They had the tubes, everything coming out of him. He knocked out all his teeth. He fractured like this spleen, his femur, all this kind of shit erupted. Okay. His hip broken, right? Remember, okay? So Errol Spence Jr., you went under the knife multiple times, not one surgery, multiple surgeries. You had to come out of that car crash and you got off all those pain medications just like that. So you were on them for months at a time. Months. You just got off all that and walked into the biggest boxing match without being on any of that shit. That's what you did? So, out of all the people in the world that get hooked on these drugs, Errol Spence Jr. got the fastest treatment, got it right on the first shot, never relapsed, didn't get a like for them, did it the proper way, and leveled off all that shit and got in the ring with Terrence Crawford within 2 months? From the time they finally finalized the fight, remember? That we didn't even know if the fight was going to go on. 2 months from the time they said yes, it went from there to there. And I'm just, you know, look, I don't want to make any assumptions. I'm just pointing out timelines. What had to have occurred. You don't go through those kind of operations without the top drugs. Demerol, fucking morphine, you know, fentanyl's up in there. Fucking Dilaudid, bro.
Dilaudid.
Yo, that shit is so lethal. Oxycodone. You don't just walk off that shit. I'm sorry. I don't know what fantasy that's a process. And did he do the process the right? He could have. He's got a lot of money. That's just a real slippery slope. I'm not sure if every man is built the same, or, you know, maybe his money and his doctors could have guided him up the right way and out the, you ever see those horror stories where the doctor says, "Oh, you're cut off," and that person goes to the streets. I've seen it a lot of times. That's just a real slippery slope. And I pray for anyone that ever has to go through something like that. Like, I know grandmas didn't ask for this shit. They're in their house, just a normal lady, went through her whole life, college, job. She's retired. She's up there putting up a thing of flowers with a little ladder, and she falls, breaks her hips. The doctor puts her on all these medications. And after 3 or 4 years of those medications, going to doctor's offices, lying about pain, writing fake subscriptions, you see grandma on the block with $19 telling you a sad story. How she got there. American streets. I've seen virtually people that have never had a drug history lived an entire great life, break their back, be given Dilaudid. Out there 7 years later, out in the street looking like craziness, crying because they don't got nothing. Because it all went to that. They didn't ask for that. They did everything right. All of a sudden, grandma is on the block at midnight trying to get something. American tale. All American dreams are not American dreams. There's some of them are American nightmares. And it happens to millions of Americans. So that's why I said that about Errol Spence Jr. You know, he had a tough road. And I think that those 3 years that he took off was him secretly coming back to us. I hope he's back. He looks great. His eyes look clear. He looks strong. The other day I was watching some videos of him, and that's what I saw, but I don't have the right to say that. I don't have it, but what the story points to is nobody might ever be told this. And Errol might want to keep this in-house. But the real battle was probably those 3 years he took off. You have no idea if that man had to lock himself in a room and go through it cold turkey. What demons and devil and all these bad thoughts. And that, my friend, no one will ever know. He'll keep that to himself, but shout out to him that he returned. He doesn't look bad. He doesn't look like his life is in shambles. You could always tell by a man's eyes, I always say. He looks good. He looks good. He looks healthy.
Hey,
I like it. He cut
Carcass
off the
says,
dreads too. Cut them dreads off.
oh yeah, he clean cut now.
Yeah, he clean cut. He looked
He
like
back to business.
he back to business. So
Hey, Carcass says round one
yeah.
playing all the Joe Athletics. You fuck. Bobo says I suspect Crawford gloves were tampered. He has history with that. And Spence's face getting deformed after a couple rounds is suspect. Everybody sweeps Crawford exploding gloves under the rug.
Well, okay. Yeah, they of course Everlast took the hit. Everlast took the hit when Crawford's gloves. Remember there was those red and green gloves? He was fighting that I think the Russian Ukrainian dude. What was his name there? I forget his name. I think that was
Majimov?
Dennis Barret. Oh no, I think that was it Dennis Barret or was it Majimov?
Majimov.
Okay, his gloves, both the thumbs blew up. Okay, this is the problem. When you're like a high level boxer that you have some money to pay for shit, they make those gloves specially tailored for Terrence Crawford's hand, not for any other boxer in the world. So when you got those guys bringing you the fights, you tell them your name, you worked with them at some point, you went down there, they sized you up. So every fight, they bring you out gloves. Those colors, I guess, this is the story that they're saying. He wanted them to match, I guess, his attire. So the order got kicked back somewhere, something, and shit had to get sped up. So the guy that made the gloves took the hit. And Everlast came out with a statement the next day saying that as a manufacturer, they failed Terrence Crawford, and they extended their deepest apology that it would never happen again to such an expensive pair of gloves, that the defect happened in both gloves at the exact same spot where the thumb bends in. And I guess the guy said he knew better, but he rushed it because I guess the boss was saying, I need the gloves. I need the gloves. They got to go out in order to get to the fight. We got to mail them out. And I guess he only stitched it once rather than doing the 2 or 3 that they do. He stitched it that one time and he was like, yeah, they're good enough. They'll hold. And they both popped. So his gloves blew up here like that at the fucking, but you know, you can't since nothing ever came out of it, you can't say that the gloves or that the hand wraps anymore because the laws have changed for quite some so many years now. You got the officials with the badges that stand there. They collect the gloves and the hand wraps after everybody's fight, and they're inspected. When they write on it, that's the official checking off on it. Then the referee look and gives the nod. That's it. Then after every match, you got to cut those off and you got to give them to them. They have to inspect it. Those gloves that happened to Terrence Crawford, they went under inspection to see if there was any foul play or tampering, whether there was some gauze taken out, gauze added, rather than what the glove was supposed to. They even weigh the glove to see if you added anything to the glove. There's all kinds of tricks in boxing, but that we're not in the wild wild west like that anymore. No. Well, I'm since fight with Miguel Cotto and that asshole happened, things like that solidify that. That's virtually impossible for you to do that in today's era. Because even if you was to use that gauze that looks flimsy, but with your sweat, it becomes like a cast, after the fight, you're gonna get caught. You're gonna get caught because you can't. It's against the law for you to lose sight of the hand wraps. They have to take that off of you in the ring, or if you choose to walk out the ring. The only you ever see when they walk out, there's that one guy that got his hand on the back of the fighter, ushering him out. That's the official getting and them gonna go get those wraps. Those days are over with. You can't do that in today's boxing. It's like in baseball. Remember in baseball, dudes would go out there and they put that grease behind their ear, behind the glove, somewhere around there, and then you pitch it, and your back catcher catches it, and he grabs the ball, wipes his shirt, and hands it to the ref like that, right? Those days are done with, bro. You know what I'm saying? Pine tar on the bad shit. That shit is done
Yeah,
with.
they now they check the pictures every inning when they come out. They
Every
check their
fucking inning.
hands. They check everything.
You got to go like this, like that, and you got to give them your glove. They go like this every inning.
Every inning. Yep.
Every inning, they check your lining. They go like this, like this. They're gonna
Hey,
bag you.
Hammer Unk is actually I am someone. He says
Mhm.
Spence is still high, slurring his words still. Victor Starr in the building. He said he was going 170 miles per hour. Geez, his car flipped multiple times. Tim going to do Spence dirty, I think, says Mr. Miyagi.
Think
Bobo says
so.
Vic Star, who's
What?
no, he was asking Vic Star who was chasing him, I guess. Great
Oh,
perspective on Spence, says QS17. Cardcast wants to know what is this. Bobo says that story doesn't add up.
what story? What?
I
What?
think
What?
he's talk. I think he wrote that when you was talking about the exploding gloves with the wraps and all that
Oh
shit.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh
That
yeah, yeah, yeah. With Everlast. Well, that's what they said. That's what they said about that's why I'm just telling you the explanation. You know what I'm saying? What they said. Now I was like with you, like what the hell? But the only thing I took out of it was nothing else was reported from that. Now, I don't care about their gloves or whatever and shit like that, but I think that there's something happened there, right? So, but the fact that it was never reported that they felt there was foul play, they felt that they had discovered something and we never heard anything by and then Everlast taking the hit publicly because Everlast issued that statement publicly. They publicly apologized to Terrence Crawford and took a hit as a company that makes boxing apparel, headgear, gloves, wraps, gum shields, you name it, boots. You know what I'm saying? So punching bags, you name it. So Everlast taking a hit like that and admitting that the problem was on their end. You know what I mean? And also to keep Terrence Crawford in their good graces and having that kind of champion wearing your gloves. Terrence Crawford wears Everlast gloves. You understand? So you want that athlete wearing your brand. So for them to come out and say that, I was like, okay, Nike's not going to admit to the faulty equipment. They're just going to say something when we're going to fix it, but they're not going to admit to it. So it's hard for a big, So when they did that, I was like, okay, so that's all.
Mr. Miyagi wants to know: did you see what he sent you about AB, Rampage, and Dean the Great?
AB, all three of them are except Rampage. Those
He
two
said
are
he sent you.
clowns.
He said he sent you a video.
He sent
I
me a
I,
video.
I guess it was on IG. I don't know.
It's probably some video of Dean the Great either getting knocked out, smacked, Rampage trying to save him, and AB being drunk as hell and being more obnoxious and just a sad case. It's probably something like that. It's not gonna be anything great, I bet. But yo, they oh my god. Did you see that video with AB goes up to Dean the Great and Dean the Great gives him a water bottle and AB takes a sip and pours it on himself? And Dean says, "Yo, you ain't in no boxing match, bro. You're not in a corner." He like, boy, he goes, "I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm ready to go." Like AB, like my man thought he was in a fight. He was so high, so intoxicated. He was out of his mind. He took the water and poured it on his head. Dean said, "Bro, you're not in a boxing match. What is wrong with you?" Yo, it's crazy. Yo, AB's just a mess. He's just a mess. But look, a lot of oh baby, how you doing? A lot of these situations and boxing matches and fights that we have coming up now, right? Guys are noticing, right? They do this all midway in boxing. What are they gonna do, right? Everybody so far that has already fought, they're gonna ask their peers, the guys that also fight, what'd you think about their fight? They're gonna give their opinion of how the other guy looked. Now it's gonna be their time to perform. And we're gonna see how they hold up. This happens all the time in boxing. Now, we saw some interesting things in 2026. We saw the return of Tyson Fury. We saw Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois fight, and what I believe was a good comeback. It was a pretty decent comeback, down twice in the fight. Um, Worley, he'll learn from this. He'll learn from this. I think he'll be back, but we also got some other good fights announced. I want to break down the fighting schedule for the month of May, June, July, and all the way up to September, no less, because of the one and only Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao, to see if that fight is going to actually happen. It's been postponed and pushed back, but maybe the two legends will get out there and exchange leather. Time will tell. But you got Alexander Usyk and um, Verhoeven for his whatever you guys know about this kickboxer. I guess he got a 1-0 record boxing. They've been around on social media advertising their upcoming fight. This is the heavyweight champion of the world.
Well,
I would
Edwin,
like, yeah,
that's May 20. That's May 23rd.
yeah, that's May
You
23rd.
Yeah, you got this weekend. You got
Oh, I
Davis
was
versus Albright.
Yeah, I was just talking about like the top fights that are coming, like the
Oh, okay,
biggest
okay, okay.
headlines and shit. But this week, yeah, we should do it that way too. Actually, no. If we were talking about the this week, the top guys, yeah, yeah. Patty Donovan versus Karen
Donovan.
Kachukuin.
That's
Patty
Friday.
Donovan.
That's Friday. Karen Chukadzian.
Yeah, I can't
versus
pronounce
Anthony
that shit
Donovan.
either.
That fight is, where's that fight happening at? That one,
That's in
that's a,
Germany.
in Germany.
Yeah, that fight's
Yep.
in Germany. Now, the reason why I like that fight is because of all the stock that Jaron Boots Ennis put on Karen by saying that none of the other fighters could beat Karen, in fact, by making Karen what Jaron Boots Ennis considers a real tough fight. And that you guys are underrating Karen as a fighter. So much, in fact, that the great Phenon Jaron Boots Ennis has stamped him. Now, if Patty Donovan can pull off one of the biggest upsets, what I think would be a big upset for out there, right? One of the biggest wins for them for the UK is probably Dalton Smith versus Subir Matias.
Yeah. So you're saying in layman's terms, if Donovan pulls off and beats Karen,
Oh,
then
it takes
then
away
then what
from
does Boots have on his resume? Is
yes.
what you're saying.
No, and it also killed the notion that he's that good of a fighter that he was so tricky, in fact, so crafty that it gave the great Jaron Boots Ennis fits. See, Jaron Boots Ennis said is what he's trying to say in a nutshell is that I am great. I look great against Karen. It's just that Karen was that good. And in fact, he's so good that he would beat the Virgil Ortizes of the world, the Sebastian Fondoras, the Xander
I
Zayas.
think Abbas Baru beats fucking Karen. That's just me thinking out loud. I don't know. I think Chino Perez beats Karen.
I don't think
I think
that,
Charles Conwell beats Karen.
yeah, but all those guys you're naming, like, okay, they're just, for me, like, they're bigger. They're just big, right? They fight in
Well,
a
yeah, you're talking about
higher,
47 versus 54. Yes, I
right.
get it.
Yeah, but skill wise, yeah, I think Abbas Baru beats Karen. Yes. I
I think
think
Chino
Chino
Perez.
beats. Yes. I
Yes.
think he beats Karen. I think Conwell beats Karen. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't seen Karen beat anybody of their caliber, for me to say he never beat Jaron Boots Ennis.
Well,
Karen.
here's my thing. I think this is just me. You might think the same way, but I think that Boots is looking to boost up his resume and to make Xander look less of an opponent. But my thing is when Xander beats Boots, I don't want to hear no excuses from none of the fucking Boots fanatics
No, no, no.
at
Well,
all.
well, well, in fact, Jerome Boots Ennis' tune of late has changed. I've been hearing him on social media. He's actually been giving Xander his credit. He's been saying that no, Xander will also beat these guys, and that Xander is a tough fight, and that Xander is a tough fight, but he don't think that he's on his level as far as his style of fighting. You know what I'm saying? He says he's gonna beat Xander, but that he's actually giving Xander of late. His tune has changed. It looks until we get closer to the fight
Hey,
because I think it's important. Yeah, what's up?
did you see who Xander's got in his training camp now?
Who?
Jermaine Ortiz, the technician.
Jermaine Ortiz. All right, that's pretty good. You need guys that are have
Swift.
experience and
Right.
and things like that, and you need a smaller, faster guy to give you that Jaron Boots and his speed. When you're 154, you're fast, but you're 154 fast. When you got guys like Jermaine Ortiz, he's not really known to be really like fast, but he's boxing fast and he's smart as a boxer.
He's
He was out,
technical.
yeah, he was outgunned by Keyshawn
Keyshawn.
Davis.
Yep.
Yeah, but Keyshawn hurt him early in that fight. I found out, and he just couldn't recover. He got hit with a shot right here in the rib right there, and it kind of paralyzed him, and he couldn't like move. So he just couldn't get it back together, Jermaine Ortiz. And I saw that that wasn't the same Jermaine Ortiz that fought once Loma and Tio. There was something wrong with him. So, but when he's firing on all cylinders, Jermaine Ortiz is a very crafty fighter. You want to get a smaller speed kind of guy that can imitate that kind of like, Jerron Boots Ennis attack and speed and stuff. So it's good to have those kind of and pro fighters in your corner in your stable.
Hey,
But
Bobos wants to know, where do you have Benavides on your top 10? I got him number one. I got him over Inoue. I got Inoue number two. Bam, I would say Bam number three. Actually, I put Bam second and Inoue third. That's what I. Yeah, yeah. That's what I'll do. Top
hey
two
yo, hey yo,
Mexicans.
hey yo, Frontline's list looks like a Goya advertisement Latin calendar. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? Because all he's gonna have on there are all Latin fighters. He's any second now. Xander's gonna get on there. Oscar Collazo at the
oh shit, damn! I
li-
forgot about him too.
listen. What I tell you,
Okay, so Oscar Goyasu's the Filipino Slayer, and then Chulo Santiago's the Japanese Slayer.
so they're both on your list too automatically.
Nah, I ask her for sure.
And
Uh,
he's above
Chu-
Inoue, right? Let me guess. He's above Inoue, right?
to be honest, if they were the same weight, yeah, he'd be Inoue for sure.
No, I just said on your pound for pound list, he's above Inoue.
Well, yeah, that's how a
Not
pound
that.
for pound. That's how a pound for pound list is made. You're basing your pound for pound list on accolades.
No, I'm not.
Yes, the fuck you are. Why?
Mine,
So
mine's is
why
all
is it?
skill.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Inoue ain't got no skills. Inoue has accolades.
This
Of
guy's
it's
crazy.
because of the accomplishments.
This guy's crazy.
It's
You
what
s-
he accomplished.
okay? All right. Now that my co-host went into what I call a Puerto Rican overdose, right? He overdoses himself with all Puerto Rican pride and Latin pride, right? And he just gets a surge. He loses his mind. He loses his mind, right? But when he loses his mind and trying to tell you his crazy story, he forgets that Shakur Stevenson's in Puerto Rican and he actually had an argument with him to try to sneak him in there. But I'll help Frontline Line. I'll help him out in his delusion of these Puerto Rican fighters that are so dominant, right? This is crazy talk, right? But the reality is this. The reality is this, right? Look, David the Monster Benavides, where do I place him for that win? I would place him among the top 6 or 7, is where I would put him in the list. Because, the pound for pound list is supposed to be based on an overall assessment of the fighter, a complete package. You can't be, too much off in one area. You got to be the elite of the elite, a polished fighter. Okay. Now, although David the Monster Benavides doesn't have the craziest footwork, he does have some. It's been getting better over the years. It wasn't so much the performance itself when you have to look at David's situation and argument for the pound for pound list, is how he did it. The 25-pound weight jump. Zuldo rehydrated on fight night. He added his extra 20. David stepped on the scale at 196. What did he gain? 1 pound? He couldn't even pass 196 on the. He wasn't cutting no weight. They said, David, just take off your clothes, get naked, and get on the scale. That's all he did.
Hey, J Rod, welcome to Round One Sports Talk, where Edwin fucks everybody's name up.
Yes, I
So you
will.
you
That
you
will
might
happen.
you might be new here. I don't
But
know.
if I murder your name, that means I like you. Anyway, check this out,
You
right?
know, he said Max Kellerman is a well
Yes,
respected in the game. How do you not know Max Kellerman's name? He's been in boxing game for
I
years.
I've known him for years and I've been rocking his name for even longer. So listen, even when his football days and ESPN when he used to try to call football, basketball, and he was always
Ch-
wrong there too. But anyway,
Chile Garcia says Inoue is number 8 on my list.
Number 8. These guys are crazy. Yeah,
QS
and
17. I'm not gonna read your comment, but you know it. Let's see who else. Mr. Miyagi says, "Here we go."
frontline trolling with the pound for pound list. I'll read it. I'll read it. I'll read it for you. No, he thought he was going to get away with that? No, hell no. He frontline is straight trolling with his little pound for pound list.
But
It
I'm
looked
not
like,
trolling. I'm doing it
bro,
obviously to get you a little because Mr. Miyagi says, "Here we
your
go."
pound for pound list looked like a fucking
No, okay,
salsa. Yeah, come
okay.
on, man.
So hold
Stop
on.
it.
Let me ask you a question, Edwin.
What?
You're more of a boxing historian, so you know the game.
Okay.
The original way that the pound for pound list was written, it wasn't based on nothing but if boxer A is the same weight, same size, not same level, but just same weight, same height, or however it was,
No.
in the same division as boxer B, the better one would go to
You
the.
almost said something, but you lost your train of thought. Listen,
I
frontline.
did
No,
because I'm
no.
trying to explain it the right
Okay,
way,
but
and,
wait, wait,
and
wait, 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 wait. The boxing pound for pound list was actually created to give the fans an opportunity to start discovering other weight divisions other than the glamour division, the heavyweight champion of the world. There was a small period in time, it was like a two belt era or whatever. It was like way back then that they came up with this idea that they were saying, yeah, your heavyweight champion is powerful, and but he can't really box all that good. My guy is actually smaller, and pound for pound, if he was the same size as your guy but moved this same way, he'd fuck your guy up. Because pound for pound, just like an ant, pound for pound, an ant is one of the strongest insects on the planet. It can lift up to 10, 25 times its body mass, its body weight. So pound for pound, it might be small, but that's a powerful creature.
right. So that being
That's
said, hold on. Let's stop right there. That being said, you're telling me that if David the Monster Benavidez was the same size as Inoue will beat Benavidez? That's what you're saying, right?
if David the Monster Benavidez was 122 pounds, right? And you
Yes.
put him in the ring, he'd just beat Junto Nakatani. What are you talking about?
With more explosiveness.
He and what do you mean he just beat Junto? Junto is explosive. He
If
bangs
Junto
hard.
does listen,
He got
Junto
bad
doesn't have
power.
the hand
He'd
speed
beat
that
Junto. He would be Junto in the
Junto
story.
doesn't have the hand speed
In the
that
story,
Benavidez
you look.
has.
He would
No,
be
you, you,
Junto.
you
That's
almost said
it.
something.
So
You almost
if
said
you're
something.
trying to tell me what he beat him at 122,
Yes.
nobody beats Naoya Inoue at 122. Nobody beats Naoya Inoue at 118. Definitely at 118. 118 and 115 he was badass, but 118 is probably Naoya Inoue's dangerous, the most dangerous he's ever been. When he was
Edwin,
fighting at 118, he was really something else. Nobody beats him at 118. At
what changes?
122,
122. What did he lose? What did he lose? Speed? Power?
nothing.
What did he lose?
He didn't lose anything.
So how is he more dominant at 15 than at 22?
No, he's more dominant at 18 than
Or
22.
18? What?
At 22, he just moved different. He
Okay.
moved different. He had a
So
different,
David
now at
Benavidez,
22, he's sitting down on a lot of his shots. He's fighting bigger guys. So the strategy to wanting, and then at 22, I notice he's punching everything strong. Every jab, every shot is strong. Go back and look at that Stephen Kubo Fulton fight at 22, his
okay,
very first fight. He literally went all 8 rounds punching at one speed. He never let up. He didn't change the cadence in his punches. At 118, he was changing the cadence, like doing all of the shit he does.
okay.
It was just a different type of fight.
Now Benavidez, when he was at 68, wasn't he doing a
There's
lot more?
no there's no version of Benavidez at no weight division that beats Naoya Inoue.
You're
That's my
crazy.
final
You
answer.
but that's your opinion. We
You
gotta
know,
respect it.
I
That's your
just
opinion.
he's
What?
fought.
What? Wait, wait, wait. What do you
He's
always say on
fought.
your show? What do you say? What do you always say in the show?
What? You almost said something.
No, no,
What?
no.
What?
Opinions are like assholes.
Assholes. Everybody has an opinion. Yeah, I
Exactly. So
just feel that he's
that's your
already
opinion.
fought. He's already fought better fighters than David the Monster Benavidez. I think you're a bit
Nah,
enamored, or like in the wow moment where you're like, oh my god, he knocked out Zurdo. Like
no,
you didn't do
no.
much.
I
You
expected him to knock
you
out
you
Sudo,
you hit a guy that was like a punching bag that walked forward like Frankenstein. He
but that's
wasn't.
not David's fault. Who?
Yeah,
Okay,
that doesn't mean that
Hugo
it took a good.
Fulton was walking forward on in a way, and he
No,
was
he
a
wasn't.
standing
He
punching
never.
bag.
No, he didn't. That's a lie. You just made that up. He
No,
was
I
never.
didn't because you even said it. You even said that when he fought Kubo Fulton, he beat him at his own game with the Philly shell.
Yes,
So what does
yes.
that tell you? That
Doesn't mean that he
Fulton
was
was
a
coming
punching
forward.
bag.
Yes, he
No,
was.
Fulton never came forward. That's the problem. Naoya in a way had to let him hit him in order for Fulton to come forward. Like Fulton was so scared, he was always going back like a cat. The minute he got Fulton to bite and to stand still, he knocked him out. The second Fulton stood still. That's how he knocked out Fulton. Fulton kept moving, circling out, circling back, circling this way. That was a poor fight to dig for. If you would have used the Paul Butler fight, now that was a punching bag. That dude, all he did was shell up in and just got pulverized by Naoya Inoue. I think you're trying too hard to discredit Naoya Inoue, and you're starting to fail
No,
online.
no, I'm
Yes,
not trying to describe. I
yes,
told you anyway. He's
because
good.
no. You think by just
He's
saying
just
he's good, but he's just
he,
not better than the top 8 fighters I just named is
look.
ridiculous.
I'm gonna read you Bobo's top 10. You ready? In order. In order.
This guy's is go ahead.
Benavidez.
Okay,
In a way.
wait.
Wait. In
Stop
a
right there.
way. In a
Stop.
way. Number two.
Stop. Just
Go
stop.
ahead.
Just
Go
stop.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. There is no way on God green earth Benavidez belongs on anyone's top pound for pound list. And that's true. You guys, like, even though we're trolling here and saying like that, I hope that a real boxing fan doesn't watch this or casual and thinks that we're actually being serious here. Because in actuality, in God's green earth and boxing science, Benavidez has not earned the right to pass six. He doesn't have anybody that he boxed equal to his status as a boxer, as a fighter. He's always been ahead of the out. You know, he was always the better performer, the better fighter. Yard didn't do nothing. Caleb Plant didn't do nothing. David Morrell did less. None of these guys ever where David Morrell had 11 fights. So David the Monster Benavidez is kind of like in a situation where Jerron Bucenis finds himself. A great talent. We know it. We feel it. We can see it. He just hasn't proven it. He hasn't fought the kind of guys that, yup, that's it. Where is Jerron Boots Ennis's greatest claim? Where is this big fight that should put Jerron Boots Ennis on a pound for pound list? And neither does David the Monster Benavidez have that. He doesn't have that. He got emailed the belt. He had to talk his way out of another one. He wore around 2 interim belts like he was a champion because he had to pretend to be something he's not.
But here's the
So
difference.
there's no here thing.
No, there's the difference.
No,
The difference is
wait. The difference is for all the casuals that are casually stopping by, I just want to let you guys know these guys are trolling and that we don't take that serious. There is no pound for pound list. David the Monster Benavidez should be at number 1 because he beat Zuldo Ramirez. Brother, you beat Zuldo that already lost. He wasn't an undefeated fighter and he quit in the fight. And he barely did anything spectacular in the fight. Okay? That's who you beat. A 2-division champion. It's not like you went out there and fought the top Saul. He beat up Saul. No. Did he beat Demetrius Bivol? Did he beat Arthur? Did he beat the top guys? No. But Naoya Inoue, He beat all the top guys.
Well, look, here's somebody from that side of the world. Biz. Biz
Listen,
is in the building. Salute
that's
to
okay.
Biz.
What I'm saying
He
is,
said, bro, same as Inoue. He hasn't fought a very tough guy. He faced a fighter that we know he will win.
stop, 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 stop.
Drop the link. Drop the link.
Stop,
We
stop,
got to get
stop,
Biz up
stop,
here.
stop, 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 stop. Check this out, right? That was cute. That was cute, Biz. But check this out, right? What do you mean he hasn't fought the top guy? He just coming off his toughest challenge in Junto, a 3-division world champion, a real undefeated fighter. A real undefeated fighter. 3 divisions. He has titles in. Undefeated. Not like Zuldo. He's been beaten. By who? Demetrius Bivol. The second he went up in his competition, he fought the guy, but he doesn't got a win over him. Everybody you put in front of Junto won. He beat. As a matter of fact, he's coming back to back of 2 undefeated fighters. Naoya Inoue, the top guys. Alan David Picasso is undefeated and the number 1 mandatory. How is it that Biz can say he fought nobody if you're only fighting the world champions and the number 1 contenders? As we all know, the only reason why Cardenas hit the lottery because Alan David Picasso, the number 1 guy, passed up on the fight. Or we know that Yi Young Kim and TJ Doheny got the fight because Sam Goodman cut his eye not once, but twice. And pulled out in the first fight that gave TJ Doheny the opportunity. So besides those fights that people had to actually come in to save the night, that doesn't count because he never wanted to fight those guys in the first place. They just had to keep the rotation because the guys he was supposed to fight didn't have the balls to fight him, right? So that's not Naoya Inoue's fault. That's guys running from him. So after that, he fought Luis Paternari, number 1. He fought Marlon Tapales, a unified world champion. Stephen Kubo Fulton, a unified world champion. How the fuck is he not fighting the top guys? Or no one? When his competition hasn't gone down, it went up in undefeated 3-division Junto Nakatani. Now they talking him up to fight who? Bam Bam Rodriguez. Are you guys not entertained? And then when you say Naoya Inoue doesn't go into a fight that we don't say he's going to win, thank you. Thank you for noticing. Thank you for finally giving Naoya Inoue his credit. Because what does that say? He's clearly the best fighter in the world. We don't think no one's going to beat him. That's why when he goes into the fights, you think he's going to win. You might not want to give him, wait. You might not want to give him your credit. But without you even recognizing what you're saying, you're acknowledging that he's going into the fight the clear favorite. Why? Because he's that damn good. When you're the best, you're always going to be favored. Recognize that you don't think anyone you put in the ring with him is going to beat him. No one. That's why you're always favored. But you shouldn't look down at the man when everybody goes in the ring with. He's not going to match up to him. He's always going to be the guy. So, yeah, that's just acknowledging his dominance. That's all.
Biz says the problem right now with the rankings and sanctionings right now is not about the performance, but it's more on PR.
On
Performance, I
PR?
guess.
What? Say
Yeah,
that again?
I guess he meant performance.
Well, I'm not gonna turn it into that right now. As far as like, look, Naoya Inoue can only fight the guys that are in his division or the guys that they send up to try to take away everything he's worked hard for. When David the Monster Benavidez couldn't get his fights, he left 168. Saul said no multiple times. He was never going to get the fight. And look how the fans booed Saul Canelo Alvarez in the fight with David the Monster Benavidez.
Well, that's where I
Okay.
was getting at. That's
Now
where I was getting at.
here's the problem with a lot of things. I want you guys to understand something, right? Okay. That when you look at these moments and what they mean and what they can become, don't confuse the two. Meaning, the face of boxing is not the pound for pound best fighter in the world or the best fighter in the world. In fact, you can see that in 4K, Jake Paul. Is Jake Paul should be on a pound for pound list? No. Is he the best fighter in the world? Hell no. But is he one of the most popular? Yes. You as a fan need to learn how to identify the two. Just because David the Monster Benavidez won over the American Mexican fan base and some other fans across the world, and that he's becoming more popular because of what he's doing, and he got 3 divisions now. Okay, David the Monster Benavidez, that's looking like a star is born. You're looking like someone that can be advertised as the Mexican face of boxing. But don't get your panties in a fucking bunch and go crazy and lose your mind and say, up, top of the pound list. For what? For beating who? I repeat, for doing what? You did some a great shit, jumped up 25 pounds, but one fight does not make you the best fighter in the world. If that was the case, then Terrence Crawford should have lost that spot a long time ago. He held it for years off one fight every year. And no one could argue that. You mean to tell me David can go from fighting who? Yard? And fighting Zurdo? He finally gets a stoppage, knocks him out in a way that, he beat up Yard pretty bad too. But that's Yard. And then Yard is tough. He's just not world class championship material. He's like one of those guys that are underneath there. He can play spoiler and beat like some of the top guys. Yard is dangerous when it's like that. He's a dangerous fight. He's just not championship where he'll make a long run holding the title. If he was to win it, he'd probably lose it on his first defense type fighter. He's one of those fighters. He's dangerous,
Hey,
but he's
Edwin,
just not.
can I finish Bobo's list?
Yeah, go ahead. Baby, give me a kiss. Finish Bobo's list.
Ready? Benavidez number 1, Inoue number 2, Usyk number 3, Bam Bam Rodriguez number 4, Demetrius Bivol number 5, Manuel Navarrete, Saul Canelo Alvarez, Oscar Collazo, Teofimo Lopez, and Raymond Morataya.
You say Raymond Morataya?
That's his number 10. But Edwin, that's his list. You can't get mad at it.
Huh?
You can't get mad at it. That's his list. That's who
No,
he
no, no,
got.
no. I question some of the the fighters and shit on the list. Yo, would you take this phone? They keep calling me because of your daughter. Her friends, because she was using my phone. Like, turn that off. Anyway, my daughter, when she be tripping, she done hooked up my account to her account because I monitor everything as a good dad should. And she can't be in no chat rooms without me monitoring it. So they come through my beeps on my phone sometimes, and I hit the
So
thing. Now it's
so so
ringing.
so, so then you can't get mad.
Listen, let me tell you something right now. I can't get mad at his list, Bobo's list. You
No, no, no,
know,
no, no. I'm talking about you're monitoring as you should as a
yeah,
father.
yeah. I can't
So
get
you
mad
can't
when
get
it's
mad if it
ringing.
goes. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. But it's I'm doing it live right now, and it's fucking irritating, right? But The
But
thing is this.
Bobo's list, it's his list.
Listen. Bobo be trolling and he be saying some crazy shit. He just said he ran out of guys, and his last part of the list, he just started throwing any Latin guy he could name on the list. You know what I'm saying? It's his list is that shit is crazy. Look, like I told you, I only concentrate on the top five. I
Okay, so
like
who's
to
your top five? I want let's hear your top five.
my top five right
Well,
now.
your top your other four, because we know who your number one is. So let's go the other four.
All right, my list. Remember, it's not by accomplishments or belts. Have nothing to do with it.
Let's hear
Now,
it.
the divisions that you go through, that's kind of impressive, but it's also based off your opponent's styles, things like that. So, of course, Naoya Inoue is number one.
Of course.
He's probably the best fighter we have
No, I don't
today.
think nobody in the chat would have guessed that one.
Yeah, but neither does Ringside, Ring Magazine, because they got him number one too. So the rest of the world feels the same way. Okay, and ESPN and all the other major,
Right, but
they all start off with him.
my
So
point is that nobody in the chat would have guessed that Inoue's your number one pick. Nobody would have guessed that.
you, you're
I
just
would have never even guessed that.
okay, but then you must not be watching my show because you would be educated and knowing the real number one, which was Naoya Inoue. And he was the number one for quite some time. They just didn't want to give it to him because the little guy always got to do twice the work. But anyway,
Number
so
two,
number two,
no, yeah,
uh,
in a way. Number three, no, yeah, in a way.
listen,
No,
he won't let me say my, you see how he's a hater? Do you see how he's a hater? Okay, listen, well, mine's is based off skill. So real skill. I think that it goes Naoya in a way. It goes Shakur Stevenson, Bam Bam Rodriguez, um, Oscar Collazo, and the last skilled fighter out there. Um, it's probably gonna be one of them Japanese dude, one of them dudes. Like, wait a minute. Why is somebody? I'm missing somebody. I know I'm missing somebody. Um, Devin Haney and these guys, they're not there yet. Tank is not. He's not there yet. I mean, he's not active enough. I would have to put in that last spot. I'm gonna have to put Xander Zayas.
two Puerto Ricans. I
Yeah,
could
yeah, yeah.
dig it. I
What,
could dig it.
what's going on? What's
No,
going
I
on?
could dig it. So that means Xander would move up on the pound for pound list if he when he beats Boots, right?
No, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I would actually put him back, like up there and shit. But like you see, I joke with Xander like that, but I really think as a polished fighter, like all around, he's fucking good in everywhere. He's not the best, not the greatest, but he's a complete fighter. Xander, he's a real complete fighter. He's better polished than a lot of these other guys. I always felt that. He's just not getting his credit because Xander, he's young, 23. He's got to prove himself some more. I get it. I get it. You
Oh
know
shit! I forgot to tell you. I forgot to tell you. I forgot to
what?
tell you.
What?
This is a name that was thrown to Coach Bermudez for May 30th. Rohan Polanco on the Universal Promotion card in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Boca Chica.
Hmm.
Jams, the Puerto Rican from Milwaukee, I think he's from Boca Chica. And the reason why I bring
Oh.
And the reason why that's the one that knocked out Teo in sparring, which I know it doesn't mean shit. And then he slammed Teo on his head or some shit like that after because Teo got mad or whatever. Whatever. That's sparring. Nobody cares about that
Hmm.
shit. But anyways, that was a name that was thrown at him for the May 30th card in Puerto Rico. It's gonna be in Mayagüez.
So he hasn't taken it yet, but he is going to be fighting in Puerto Rico. But the opponents
So
to be announced.
So here's the catch 22. What he said on it was on Cesar Sarah's show.
Mm-hmm.
What he said was that he don't know if he's gonna take the fight because one of his other fighters is fighting and he can't make it there.
Mm.
But it's a stay active fight. I don't understand why he wouldn't send somebody from his team out there to get him through the fight. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So let's keep pushing through this boxing schedule. I just want to let me read off some of these fights that we got coming up. We got May 16th in Norfolk, Virginia. We got Keyshawn Davis and Albright. Two. We know that in the first fight, Keyshawn beat him. Keyshawn Davis beat Albright in that fight outright. Albright got a good shot in, kind of like staggered a little Keyshawn Davis, but that was about it, really. Albright looked durable, strong, but just a level behind Keyshawn. But later it was revealed Keyshawn Davis tested positive for marijuana, and the fight was ruled a no contest. Albright went and fought the oldest of the Davis brothers and beat him. So now, technically, Albright got two wins on the Davises. So I like this right here. Albright staying active, Keyshawn staying active. I like the fight in many different ways, but I also like the co-main event where we're gonna see the return of Brian Norman Jr., right? And he's gonna be fighting Josh Warren. And I think that's a good fight, 10-round fight. I like it. There's other fights on that fight card, but later to be announced. And we'll get back to that on a later date. You got on the 16th in England. You got Allen. That's a heavyweight matchup out there, towards out there. San Antonio, California. There's a 12-round fight there. Jones. Yeah, but the card is not etched out yet. I don't got anything else, so I'll talk about that in a second. Fun Truck is pulling up in the building. Let me let him in. Here, Fun Truck, I'm gonna let you in. I'm just reading off some of the fights that we will be have coming up. Um, oh yeah, that's right. My boy Biz did show me a flyer that he was telling me the Luis Pantera Nari fight and John Casamaro fight is also being rescheduled for June. I think it was June 6th. Holly Holm makes a ringy return. She will be fighting for the WBA Women's Lightweight title. Amanda Serrano is on that card too as well. And that card out there, that's on May 31st. Right, and that fight will be aired, I think, on ESPN. Demetrius Bivol in Russia. Demetrius Bivol makes his return with Michael, 12-round fight for Demetrius's WBA, IBF lightweight titles. Interesting. Two belts? That's all Demetrius has left? Is the two belts? Wow. Boxing moving fast. Oshasi Foster and Raymond Ford in a 12-round fight for Ford's WBC
that fight's
junior
gonna be a
lightweight.
banger.
And May 30th in Houston, Texas on the zone.
That fight's
That
gonna be a banger.
yeah,
Fun truck, what up?
yeah, we're gonna watch that. Fun Truck, how you doing, brother? Let
What's
me
up, guys?
just
What's up?
yeah. Let me just real quick. There's another fight card, right? That I've been paying attention to too as well. I want to look this up and then just announce this real quick. Bear with me here. Let me see what Christian and Billy. No, that one. Jack. No, 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 no. There was one I was watching. Oh, here we are. They were getting to the June fights. Okay, this one is gonna be great. June 13th. Antonio Vargas versus Jesse Bam Rodriguez, a 12
That's
round fight for Vargas's WBA bantamweight title.
so to unification. That fight is gonna be fire.
Okay, and then you got
And
Liam Paro against yep,
for the record,
yep,
Vargas, Antonio Vargas,
yep.
he's half Puerto Rican and half Mexican.
Oh.
And on that fight, on
Oh.
that day, we taking them.
We taking them?
Yeah, because they got Bam
Oh,
Bam.
they
Bam
got
Bam's
Bam.
100% Mexican, so we taking Vargas. He's half Puerto Rican, half Mexican. We taking him.
Oh, yo, hey, yo,
That's a dead man walking.
that's
Vargas
a
is
dead man walking.
Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm still standing with him.
Yo,
I'm
yo,
still
yo, yo. I
standing with him.
might have to take the Latin Mexican. Hey, it's close enough for me. I'm gonna go Mexico way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going
Vamos,
with you.
güey.
I'm not
Vamos,
going with
cabrón.
you.
Hey, you don't
I'm
have to,
not
but
going with you, bro.
he's
You
half
gonna get
Puerto Rican,
rocked.
so I'm rocking with him. That's it.
So you got Lewis Crocker versus Liam Paro 12-round fight for Crocker's IBF title on June 21st, right
Mm,
in Australia. You got that. You got Brooklyn, New York, June 27th, the next day.
yes,
Xander
sir.
Zayas versus Jaron Bucenis for
Yes,
a 12-round
sir.
fight for Xander's WBA junior middleweight titles of the world. Um,
And his WBO.
yeah, and you also got like other fighters like Ben Whitaker fighting on that fight card as well. You got Jahai Tucker and shit. So you got a lot of action. You got the return of Edwin De Los Santos. He's gonna be fighting against Jose Valenzuela.
Yeah, but
You
that's
know,
Sunday on the Super card.
but that's on Paramount. That's June 28th. That's the
Yep.
next day. So we're
Yep.
gonna have boxing the 26th, 27th, and 28th. And we all know that the first time that they fought, Edwin De Los Santos stopped Jose Valenzuela in that fight. But remember, Jose Valenzuela struck first in that fight by dropping Edwin De Los Santos in that fight first. Remember how that fight took place? Jose Valenzuela knocked down Edwin first. Edwin got off the mat and finished Jose Valenzuela. So this is part two. They're a bit much older, you know, and
I
let's see
think I
what
think
happens.
I think Rayo takes this one.
I think so too.
I
I
think
think
Rayo
so
takes this
too.
one because they're fighting. Number one is they're fighting at 35. That's number one.
Hmm.
Number two is Rayo's been more active than De Los Santos.
Well, yeah, I like that too. This fight card right here is pretty good too, man. As we say, July 4th kicks off Cleveland's fireworks. Abdullah Mason making his first title defense against Joe Cardena.
Yeah, I'm going
And
with the
then
American.
yeah, I'm gonna take him. I'm also looking forward in that card because there's another title, and Bruce Carrington. He's gonna be making the first defense on his WBC world title. Let me guess who you have in the fight.
I got the
Bruce Carrington.
American.
Okay. And Tiger Johnson, after being in that little scuffle with the entire Devin Haney posse, you know what I'm saying? He was jumped. They got footage. Poor Tiger Johnson. He didn't even get paid for fighting. He got all them lumps over his face and didn't get one dime. You know what I mean? Keep the fighting in the ring, Tiger. Keep it in the ring. So I want to see Tiger Johnson in that fight right there. There are a lot of good matches coming up, a lot of guys making their ring return. Errol Spence Jr. and Tim Zhu have been scheduled for July 25th, right, in Australia. It is a PBC pay per view on Prime Video. So you will be able to watch it on Prime. It is a pay per view and it will be hosted by the PBC. And they always say the PBC don't got money to host these fights. They're going broke, but somehow they're always putting together fights. Shout out to the PBC for staying there. And of course, we end it with for the rumors of Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao somewhere in September. So, Fun Truck, I know you came all this way to talk boxing. We got out the schedule for boxing. What's on your mind? Uh,
Well,
talk to me.
out of those fights that you named, I'm looking forward to Boots and Xander. I like when young fighters fight each other. So the Oshaki Ford one, I think that one's going to be a good fight that I'm looking forward to. But I wish there was a little bit more. I wish there was a little bit more action upcoming in the next couple of months. But I'll take what I can get as a boxing fan.
Yeah.
Right, right. I
Hey,
mean,
Fun Truck,
shit. Yep.
were
Go
you
ahead.
were you happy with that super? Like, were you satisfied with
Mm.
that previous Sufa card that just happened?
Listen, brother. Listen, I'm gonna put it like this. I was talking to my friend Lance, who's sometimes in the chat, and he goes, "Hey man, on Saturday as a dad, he's busy with like his girls. He's taking them to fucking do some errands and shit. So when
Hmm.
he's free on Sundays, he's kicking back. He enjoys watching Zuffa boxing." And I said, "Fuck it. That's what Zuffa's for, bro. To be entertaining for you on Sunday. Just for those that are occupied on Saturday can't catch the fights." And yes,
Right.
yes, I was happy with the night because I made a little money on some underdogs. And then last, I'd say it's only going to get better, man. And I'll tell you what, for
I lost you, caller.
We lost you, Fun Truck. Fun Truck.
Front truck.
We lost him.
He might
Yep.
have got a
Hey,
phone call.
yeah, a pug. Yes. John Santana versus Christian Chacon in that Norfolk, Virginia on the Keyshawn Davis card. That fight
Yeah,
is
that's
going
on
to
the
be
Keyshawn Davis.
interesting.
Yeah, that's on the Keyshawn Davis card, right?
I like
my
I
bad, I got a
like
phone call.
Yeah.
But
you're good.
yo,
Go ahead.
Frontline, to answer your question, I want to
Yep.
say, yeah, it's only going to get better.
Yeah, it is.
I
I
like when
said that.
underdogs win. And the main event, there was an underdog that won. And the Manny Robles versus Robert Garcia fighter, Alvarado and Castaneda or whatever the other
Hmm.
guy's name is, that was an
Hmm.
underdog. And listen, bro, we
Shane
watched that
Mosley
fight
Jr.
where
at
you had
35
this.
years old. Shit.
Come on,
Hey,
All
hey,
right.
there.
Fun
Go
Truck.
ahead, front truck.
Yep. Yes,
What
I'm
Go
was
ahead.
that
satisfied with
fight
what
since you
happened.
watched it? I
It's
forgot
only
the
going to get
name.
better.
I
Which one?
forgot the name. Maybe you might remember. The fight with that kid from France versus the American dude. That the American dude got knocked down and they still gave him the
Oh,
fight.
on the Sufa card. He got robbed.
Yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Bro,
I don't
you
know.
telling me that that wasn't a robbery?
I
Maybe
didn't
he didn't
catch
see
it,
that
bro.
fight. I
I
don't
might have
know.
missed it.
He probably didn't
Yeah, I
catch
was
it.
in and out.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yo, but how about this? How
Oh,
about
Yeah.
okay.
this? How about this? We also got to see this young heavyweight, the fucking Van Houten. I don't know his last name. It's really hard.
Mazi,
Is that his name? Mazi?
Mazi.
Yo, that
He's from
kid.
over here in St. Pete. He trains with
Yo, that
Keith Thurman. He's over here
yo.
in St. Petersburg.
Listen, I think in 4 to 5 years he'll beat Moses Atama. I really do, bro. I really do.
What?
The perfect style, yes, bro. The perfect
What?
style to beat him.
Yo, he
Yes,
could
you heard it
crack
right here,
Edwin.
bro.
Yo, I
He
gotta
could
go
Yo, let me
watch
crack.
him
tell you.
now. Did you
He
Yo,
could
just
yo,
say he'll
crack.
beat Moses
hey, yo,
time? I
yo,
gotta
yo.
go watch him.
Hey, he'll knock Moses
Yo,
Atama out.
What?
Edwin,
Hold
he could
on.
Front
Let me
crack.
tell you
truck.
this. Listen up.
He could
Listen
crack.
up.
He's that
Listen
good?
up here. Listen up.
Yeah,
Listen.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. He started boxing in 2022 at 155 pounds. Okay. He started at 155. Now he's a heavyweight weighing 255, bro, with the six packs. The six pack 4 years later. And he's got 12 fights, bro. And he's got the perfect style to smash a Tom at a bitch.
Really?
He'll
Who's this guy
fucking put
front
he'll put
line?
America, he'll put America on his back and he'll smash a Tama. I
Yo,
promise you,
front
he's
line.
got the
What's his
perfect
name
style.
again?
And that's
See?
what Zuffa's doing, bro. Zuffa got me hyped up for this American
I'll
heavyweight.
get you. I'll
Let's
get you the
fucking
name,
go.
Edwin.
Yeah, you gotta give me this because this dude said he'll beat Moses. And I think Moses is
He'll
one of the
smash
best
him.
pop
He'll
prospects
smash him.
for the heavyweight division right now.
Watch,
The future.
watch the highlights. I'm gonna send you a clip
Send
of
me it,
the
please.
and you're gonna
I
see, bro.
always want to see
He's
new
a real
guys.
deal
I want to
Holyfield.
see new guys. I want to see what you guys, yeah, introduce that. Come on, bring that shit this way. You know what I mean?
And
Um,
listen, I'm gonna actually, if I can
I
continue a
didn't have
second here
time to watch
with
the
the
Sufa card. Sufa was on
Yo,
Sunday on
hit.
yo,
Mother's Day,
Hey, Edwin, write this
type
down.
shit.
Right, type this name
My
down.
wife said no boxing, not even, I couldn't even answer a fucking phone call for boxing on
Yeah, we
Mother's Day.
Edwin. We know who runs the house. We
You
know.
know it. She's right there and she runs everything, okay?
Hey, hey, you know who runs my house too, so we're good.
That's right.
Hey, write this down.
What's up?
Damazian, Damazion.
Wait. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Say it again now. D
Damazian,
D A
Damazion.
M A. Yep. Yep.
O-N.
Oh, he's
Let
right up my alley. I'll fuck that name up, no problem. You know what I'm saying?
Damazian, and his
I'll be
last name
saying
is
Des, D's, Dodobos. Yo, he looks like one of the guys that'll be a good fighter for me. You know what I'm
wait, hold
saying?
on, and his last name will
What?
fuck you up even more. You ready?
Oh no, you got more? Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's it. That's his first name. His last name is Van Hooter.
That Hooter.
VanHouter.
Promise you, he'll knock Katama out, bro. Put his
Von
lights out.
Hooter.
Yeah,
Oh, these guys in these names be killing me, bro. And
Matter
then
of
the,
fact,
yo,
Edwin, look at your I'm gonna text it to you right now. Hold on, right here.
mhm.
Boom.
let me continue cooking on the Zuffa
All
yesterday
right.
with yesterday. We had the
Yep.
Alvarado versus Castaneda. I think that was his
Yep.
name. Manny Robles fighter was a plus 700, and Robert Garcia's fighter was a minus like 1500. Super favorite, right? So it was a 6 round fight, and Alvarado in the first round came out with a really good defensive guard and started marching towards the favorite. And the favorite is a slick amateur fighter, but I thought he lacked a little bit. He didn't look like he was muscular. So I said in the professional, it's gonna get hard to get through those last couple rounds when you're being that slick. And sure enough, Alvarado marched forward, bro, with a good defensive guard, and he pummeled that kid. He started pummeling him in round 2 and 3, but in the first round, it looked like it was gonna go towards Robert Garcia's fighter because he was slick. But bro, the amateur system is so completely different than the professional system. You go from 3 3-minute rounds to 4, 6, 8, 10 rounds. It's tough, bro. You can't be so slick when someone's not getting away from you. Rounds 3, 4, 5, and he got buckled. That kid got buckled and humbled. And to me, it was a really good fight. It was the second biggest underdog winning in Zuffa, but to me, it shows the essence of boxing and like from it's a marathon, not a sprint. You know what I'm saying? It's not about
Yeah.
who's getting the flasher combinations in the first and second and third round. It's about how you finish in the championship rounds. And bro, it was a straight up, it was a clinic towards the end. You
Right.
wouldn't think that it would be like that in the first round. But
Right.
bro, love that.
I gotta go check out that fight. I didn't have time to check out. The only thing I got in the morning was the shocking win with Shane Mosley Jr. at 35 years old, getting that big upset win.
Hmm.
And so I heard about that, and I quickly went to watch that, and then I watched a couple of the other fights. I just skimmed through them real quick. So I got to go watch the full fight because highlights never tell the story. So
Oh,
you gotta watch the fight. I don't
yes.
play that shit. So
You know,
I'm not a highlight guy.
but
I'm
here's
not a
the thing with
highlight guy.
this
I
fight
need
with
to
the kid.
study. I need to see what happened. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying? What
it's a
really
six.
happened?
It's a 6 round fight. It's a
Yeah.
6 round fight. I really recommend you watch it because they were also like 10-0. Sorry, like
Yep.
9-1, and the other kid was like 11-0. Perfectly matched
Right. Right.
records.
Right.
They were both young, and they want that shit. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? The
that's the
fights on the
best
end
fights.
are
That's the bbest fights.
100%.
Just like when I saw what's his name there? Frontline, help me out here. Juanita Lopez when he
Mamita
fought
de Jesus. De Jesus.
De Jesus Lopez when he fought
Yes.
the other guy, De Jesus there,
Malik
Malik
Quinones.
Quinones, right? When he fought Malik Quinones, and on like his second fight, that was two young guns that I think that's gonna relive that fight again in the future. Because those are two young fighters that, those are those special kind of fights. And Fun Truck's talking about a fight such as that. So I got to go check that fight out. That's a fight for me. Now, one of the biggest upsets, I believe, like I said, Nick Ball getting knocked out, that wasn't an upset as more that it was surprising, right? But the biggest upset has to be so far that David Morale fight. He was a 14-1 favorite in Las Vegas the night of the fight.
Damn.
14-1. And he got knocked out by Zach
Yeah.
Chili. And I was like, who the hell is Zach? They were trying to showcase David Morale to promote him for his next big fight. and he got knocked out in the last round. That's got to be one of the biggest upsets so far. Like I don't remember 2026. I'm just not in history, boxing history. Just keep it simple so far because at the end of the year we got awards to give out. You know, the best fight of the best comeback, the best, the most shocking win, the biggest underdog. You know what I'm saying? Like at the time, I remember one of the biggest underdog wins was Espinoza against Robersi. It was like one of the biggest comebacks too. Espinoza got dropped early in the fight. We thought Robersi was gonna pack him up, and look what happened. So like, these fights. So that's my opinion. Like I think that's got to be one of the biggest upsets. Like if Junto would have
Yeah,
beaten
I
Naoya
got a.
in a way, that would have beat it.
That would have been
But
bigger.
other than
Uh,
that, go
I
ahead.
got a question for you guys because from what Frontline asked me. So, what do you think about Zuffa Frontline and yesterday and everything that Zuffa's had so far?
I I I like the main event. It was entertaining because obviously we didn't expect Mosley to put it off. I did like the way that, I mean, Mosley did get hit a lot.
Yeah, he did.
But I also like the endurance and his ambition to not give up and continue. So it was entertaining on that aspect. There was a couple fights that I felt like. Now, mind you, this is just my opinion. I don't want nobody to think that it's my opinion.
We all know you're biased, so go ahead.
No, it's not about being biased. It's about what I saw. What I saw
Okay, okay,
was
okay.
it looked to me, it looked to me
Uh huh.
like a couple of these fights were bought off
Oh
because
my goodness. Go ahead. Yep, yep.
only because of the way the final decision was like given. Like for an example, I'll get you the name so that we're on the same page. But it's that kid from where the fuck he's from? He's from France. Let me see.
All
He
right,
lost.
land
Was
your
it
plane. Land your plane. What
Raphael
fights
Moni?
looked
I
it
think
bought?
his name
Okay,
was.
what fights look bought off?
Yes, that's the one. Raphael Moni. He was 9-0 entering the ring. He's from France. He fought against Mamutovic, an American fighter. Anyways, he clearly lost that fight, and they gave it to him anyways.
Okay.
That's one of them.
Okay.
Let me see. What's the other fight?
Shane Mosley.
No, Shane Mosley won by knockout, so there's no dispute there.
Okay, there's no dispute there for you. Okay.
Even though I might have thought that it looked like a little bit kind of like bought out where Boachuk took a dive. But then again, he did catch him with a clean shot, so it's hard to tell. But it didn't look like a clean win for me. And that's just like I said, it's my opinion. I'm not trying to persuade anybody to nothing. It's just my opinion. I think that I didn't think the fight card was as exciting as I thought it would be. That's just my opinion.
Is there any other fight that comes to you that you think that there might have been some
No,
trickery or
no.
no? Okay.
Okay, but what about like Zuffa in entirety? Are you a supporter? Are you a hater? Sort like in between?
At
Where do
the
you
end
guys
of the
fall?
day, I stand with Edwin. It's boxing. I'm gonna watch it. I am not 100%. And here's why, Fun Truck. And I want you to understand where our frustration comes in, right? Our frustration comes in. It's not about the fights that we're getting. It's not about the cards that are being put together. It's the behind the scenes fuckery that Dana White doesn't clear up for us, the fans. For an example, um, when he first started Sufa, he wanted Sufa to be a quote unquote open book, so that there's no favoritism, there's no ducks, there's no nothing, right? That was his intention. Now we're getting, you got the Haney's for not that it matters to me. I don't pocket check nobody. Whatever money they make, they make. As long as they entertain us, that's all I give a fuck about. I don't care how much money. If the more money they make, the better for them. They're the ones getting in there entertaining me. So all this bullshit about everybody talking about, oh, that's a bullshit contract, this and that. I don't care about that. Let them make their money. That's their job. It is what it is. I don't pocket check nobody. What I am mad about, or not mad about, but confused about, is simple questions that require a simple answer that is not being answered. And one of the questions is, does SUFA have a two-tier system? Do they have a SUFA league, as the SUFA cards, and then do they have the second tier where the boxers get to fight in an off SUFA weight class, like 68, 30, 40, so on and so forth, on the second tier? That's a simple question that I think us as fans, we should know about. You know what I'm saying?
Well, speaking of simple questions, he asked you a simple question and you gave him a word salad, a whole
No.
fucking essay. He
He
just asked
asked
you,
me, he
yes or
asked me,
no, do you like the Sufa
he said,
product?
no, no, no. He said, how do you feel
Yo,
about SUFA? Speaking about SUFA, how do you feel about SUFA? So
right.
I told him exactly how I feel.
Listen. Okay, check this out, right? Front truck, I'm gonna try to sum it up for you. I told everybody, and Frontline's with me on this, right? Hold on a.
See, now he's giving you, I gave you a word
Okay,
salad.
now
He's giving
check
you the
this out. No,
dressing now.
se me calla. Listen, listen. This is what I feel about Sufa as a whole. It's not that I'm a hater. It's not that I'm with it or against it. I'm neither. I'm reserved. I'm reserved in the fact that I want the organization to prove themselves to me. After a year, let's see if these fighters are still singing the same tune. I notice when something starts off first. Everything's always the honeymoon phase. Everybody's getting paid, everybody's happy, everybody's working. But once the work schedule starts to flow, I want to see if they start running through these fighters like they do in the UFC. If they start to cash in right away off their blood, sweat, and tears, right? And they don't care about the fighter. What is Sufa doing for the fighter's longevity? And where do they play a factor in changing the sports? Is it just another promotion entity coming into boxing, lining their pockets off the blood, sweat, and tears of fighters? Now that, my friend, is an answer that I can't get until Sufa reveals itself. In the beginning, I'm not blind. I'm just reserved. I'm not with or against. I'm not saying they're our savior or our problem. You understand? There's a lot of things that Sufa's attacking. One of them being the Muhammad Ali Act. Another are belts and the legacy of what is boxing today. They're coming out, bringing their little ring, shiny belt, polishing it up, and telling you it's a world championship. These are all the moves that Sufa Boxing is doing. Now, do I believe that boxing is the wild, wild west? Yes. Do I believe it needs help? Yes. But do I also believe Sufa is our savior? No, not yet. I believe, prove it. Show me. Where's round one from? Where are we all from? We're from the show me state. And guess what, Sufa Boxing? You are no different. You are going to have to show me that you value the interests of the boxers, paying them well, taking care of them, and taking care of them after boxing. If you only come into boxing and all you're doing is the same promoting gimmicks that they were here when boxing existed, then you've changed nothing. WBC claims to be putting money in a fund for boxing. Really? Well, isn't that only WBC fighters? What about the rest? You don't help anybody else that wasn't a former champion of you. So if Zuffa boxing is going to correct boxing, well, you would have to do more. You would have to value boxers. Are you only going to value Zuffa boxing? Well, you would be no different than the very entities that exist today. You've changed nothing. If you're going to change something, then change it. Change it by the rule structures we don't like. Make changes to the things that we've actually been asking change for. Not just line your pocket and give us big boxing matches. We've already seen that in boxing. So, is Zuffa a wolf dressed in sheep's clothing? Is that all it is? Another entity just like the rest of these sharks that promised us everything but change nothing. And if you ask me, my friend, what do I think about Zuffa? Time will tell. See, because at Round One Sports Talk, we don't go crazy over the next shiny thing just because it flashes or throws around money. No, we've been there before in our life. We're smart enough to know that just because you throw a little money around and you claim to make changes, how many politicians and presidents promise us change? What they do? It's the same thing. Life taught me this. The world. Not to just come out and jump on the next new thing thinking that's going to be our savior. Sometime it turns out to be a nightmare, now doesn't it? So rather than getting my hopes up for something that's going to let us down, I'm a bit more reserved. Yeah, I make fun of them with a belt. Yeah, I've said a couple things, but I've never told you not to watch Super Boxing. I encourage it. Because if they are who they say they are and they turn out to be the right thing, shit, I'm a reasonable man. I
Yeah,
can
but
admit when something needed to validate itself or be proven. But when we get there, then you'll hear me say that. And until we get there, no, you won't get my tip of the cap, Super Boxing, just for signing a few fighters. I'm sorry. That's not what I'm built like.
my thing, I'm beyond all that. It's boxing, of course. I'm gonna watch it, but the fuckery that's going on behind the scenes, like I said, the contracts that are being signed for XYZ amount of dollars, who cares? That's like you going for a job. I work at the same job you're applying for, and they're paying you more than me, but you got more qualifications, more skills, more whatever. I can't get
Well, how
mad
does
at
it
that.
how does it affect you? It doesn't really affect you personally. I mean,
Exactly. That's my point. That's why I don't care about, everybody's making, they're talking about super boxing that there's no way Devin Haney's getting 100 million. Whether he is or he isn't, it's not my concern. I can care less. What I want to know is, does Sufa have a two-tier system? And if they do, how do they plan on implementing the quote unquote two-tier system? For an example, Belanga said he's fighting at 68. If Shakur signs to Sufa, right? Where's he gonna fight at? Is he gonna stay at 40? Is he gonna go down to 35? Or is he gonna go up to 47? Those are the things that us boxing fans should worry about. We're here to see the boxers, what division they're going to fight in, because we care about who they're going to fight next, what their opponents are going to look like. What they get paid means absolutely dick to me. I don't care. I don't care at all. I'm paying for a card, for a service, for an app, for a program, for whatever. I want my money's worth. You know what I'm saying? Whether,
I get
prime
it. I get
example,
it. I get it.
Teal versus Shakur, it might have not been worth the pay per view money or whatever, but we got a one sided beating that day. Teal got the shit beat out of him. Now, see, all facts is in the building. All facts been cooking all week on this shit, and he's got an eye for it. He's got an eye for it. He's been cooking on it. Sufa messed up by attacking the traditional system, the sanctioning bodies. Remember, PBC did the same thing, made their own belt, and then and they told them no. How is it a two-tier system when the champions that are signing over there got to drop the belt? That's another fact. That's
That's
J.O.
all
Pataya.
facts right there. That's all facts right there. And look, we gotta pay attention to a lot of these things too. And like you were alluding to with J.O. Pataya, like J.O. Pataya definitely was used as a pawn.
Yeah, my phone's gonna die. I'm gonna bounce, guys. Peace out. Thanks for
Yes.
the
All
Hey,
talk.
right,
yo,
later.
Fun Truck, thank you for stopping by,
Yep.
brother. It's always a
Yep.
pleasure.
Of
Hey,
course.
Fun Truck, we
Catch you.
talking about
What's up?
Sufa. You don't want to hear it.
Yo,
That's what
and
it
Fun
is.
Truck,
Listen.
I still want your boy to come on my show, bro, for fighting
Jesse
Oscar
Haro.
Collazo.
Yeah. I'm gonna
You
try to get in
need
contact. Yeah, I'll get.
try to
Yep.
get in
I'll
contact
try to
with
get
him
him.
because that kid is a good fighter, bro. He
Yeah.
needs, and the world, listen, he did good, bro. A lot of other dudes, I'm telling you, would have fell short and folded a lot sooner than that in that weight division. And I commend the young man for taking the opportunity
Hell
and
yeah.
shooting for the stars, man. You know, so listen. Anyway, Fun Truck, it's been a pleasure, my brother.
I'll,
Take care.
yeah. I'll catch up with you guys later. Peace.
All right,
Later.
brother. Peace out.
Hey,
Yo,
Pug says, all I know is all leagues, belts, and promoters, networks only as good as the fighters representing them. Ultimately, the game still revolves around the best boxers. Sufa, Turkey, Top Rank, Golden Boy, PBC, DAZN can never hotbox with God and cheat the martial arts of boxing. So yeah, all facts been dropping a couple shorts and videos about the topic because again, all facts, yo, he watches Sufa. He's not gonna sit here and deny it, but he's gonna call it how he sees it. You know what I'm saying? And one of the questions again he has, like I have, yo, there's a lot of fuckery going on behind the scenes that the public wants to know and Dana White won't answer. Prime example, Edwin, if you go to the post fight, it's on YouTube, the post fight conference, right? They asked Dana White, oh, he's like, oh, we're trying to get our boxers busy to fight at least 2 to 3 times a year. Okay, well, you just said that you're gonna have them fight, you're gonna keep them busy. Well, in a way, take Inoue as an example. He fights 4 times a year without Sufa.
right.
So what the fuck do we need Sufa for? It's not. It's Sufa's not our savior. You know what I'm saying? MW2, saludo papi. Um,
Well. What I think Sufa is doing actually, Sufa's trying to do one part of what we, the fighting fans, have been long waiting for: a schedule in fighting where they have fighters. They no longer have to reach out to get
Stop
these
right there,
fighters.
real quick. A
Yeah.
schedule, doesn't that become a quote unquote league?
Wait, wait. Maybe some to some degree. Maybe to some degree, but trying to keep it in the pros retrospect, like the advertisement of pro boxing. So,
Right.
okay, what they're trying to do is, from what I gather, from what I'm looking at, I mean, this is all fairly new. Sufa's just kicking off, and we still don't understand the 1 tier, 2 tier system shit and how it applies to all fighters. Okay, and we don't know why some fighters are making outrageous amount of money, and then the Sufa tier is getting like 300,000 for a title fight or some shit, right? Okay, but for the Sufa belt, okay. So we haven't figured out all
Hey,
the
Edwin,
particulars. What?
if I share something with you,
Yeah.
what's the best way to share it? Share it through a text message or WhatsApp so you can put it up on the screen.
What's up at WhatsApp right now?
WhatsApp. All right,
Yeah,
because
share it.
all facts. Text me something, and I'm gonna share it with you so you can put it up on the screen. It's the pay scale that on how it pays, and
Right.
a lot of it's cut out because the person didn't want to be, I guess, known. It was on Reddit, but
Okay.
let me you said WhatsApp is better, right?
Yeah.
All right. Where we at here? Yo, all facts be cooking. I, on his lives and in the text messages, he come with evidence. A lot of people don't like that shit.
Yo, but check it out, right? All right, so I got your last message was that kid, he was 12 and yeah, you sent me his box wreck. Okay, I got
Yeah,
him.
that's Mozzie.
Yeah.
Damn.
They call
Yo,
him Mozzie.
that's what they call him, Mozzie.
Sound like
Um,
a dude at the boxing voice, Mozzie. Yo, so I saw that. You saw what, brother? Was Zuffa not going to look good by signing people like Haney and Shakur? Well, it's a power move. Yes, that's for sure. It is definitely a power move. But I just want you guys to be aware of the fact that Turkey Al Sheet was the one that put out that narrative, Tom and Jerry. He put that out. And the fighters he was referring to was Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney. I just got it front line, right?
all right.
Okay. So after him, Ed Hearn, and a lot of um um Turkey Al Sheet promoters all said the same thing. Devin, Shakur, not exciting, boring fighters. Wow. All of a sudden, Sufa wants not exciting, boring fighters. And that same boring fighter in Devin Haney is worth 100 million. And Shakur is allegedly a
60 million.
$60 million fighter. But yet, Turkey Al Sheikh said, no Tom and Jerry. Where'd you hear that phrase? Who said it? Who
Turkey.
told you this? Turkey. But all of a sudden, the Tom and Jerry fighter is worth 100 million. Or is that what you were told? Is that what you were led to believe? When the whole time they knew they were good fighters. They know Shakur's a good fighter. They know Devin's a good fighter. They know they're both good for boxing. And yet, now that Tom and Jerry fighter, $100 million. Go figure. I just want you to pay attention to some of the shit and the trickery that's happening in the sport of boxing. And sometimes boxing will reveal or lift its skirt. Yeah, Turkey just lifted his skirt. You're going after our top guys that you called boring. Were they boring? Or was that you saying that to lower their stock so that you can get your hands on them?
That's exactly what it was.
Hmm? Huh?
Jose,
Wake up,
saludo,
people.
papi.
Wake up, boxing fans. I'm
Que
just
César no
saying.
te coja en el caldito de basura canales que te insulta. Oh shit. Kicking all that money is not good. It's not gonna be good for the market for those fighters, says MW2 Vibes.
You know, it's just like Turkey Al Sheikh all over again, spoiling us, right? What did he do when he entered boxing? A lot of people said he was crazy because there's no way that he could have gained any profit on those fights because he's way overspent on the event and he way overspent on the fighters. He didn't get that kind of return. And I said to everybody, well, that's not how business works. If you were looking at it from a business mindset, my job wasn't to turn a profit. My job was to win you over as fans. For you to say the best fight cards are who? Turkey a la Sheik. Those are the best fight cards ever put together. Okay. When he makes his own league, Zuffa, and owns the ring, what does the fan do? They appreciate the man that spoiled them. Turkey a la Sheik. When he announces that he's going to be the savior of boxing and creates his new league, well, he has a whole bunch of fans that he's just entertained. Not for a profit, but for the future. The future to control boxing, to convince you that all eyes will go to Zuffa, their champions, their belts, their game. The best fighters in the world will be there. And that's where they want you to tune into. Then once he controls that, everything that he overspend in the beginning, he'll get that 3 times. And he'll have you as a fan. That's his product. That's business. That's not boxing. You understand? So there are some business endeavors that may look like failures, but they're actually gains. If you didn't know this, the way a rich person typically stays rich, you buy small companies and you report gain. You let them fail, then you take that and you profit off that at the end. It's like then all of a sudden you get all this assistance and all this extra money. It's just business, man. It's business. And sometimes business looks like failure, but it's not. Because that's not what their intentions were. It might be what you see, but it's not their end game. And I think that their end game is to monopolize boxing, control the fighters, control their paychecks, and treat them like employees, not like a partner. In pro boxing, the boxer is a partner to the game. In Zuffa, you get paid like you work at McDonald's. You don't got the right to worry about what we made in pay-per-view or the gate. That's above your pay grade. We hired you for your services. We bought you like a contract and we're treating you as such. You understand? We're going to pay you a salary. You're not complaining because you signed to that. You thought it was fair. This is what we offered. You signed for whatever fights. Now don't worry about the 20 million we made in pay-per-views or sponsorships. They got nothing to do with you. Why? Because we're Zuffa. We're the promoters. We're putting up all the money. This is how real promotion should be run. Why is the boxer entitled to any of the money when they didn't put up a dime? Zuffa. You understand? These promoters, what they do is they respect the fighter because they're taking the punches to the face and they open up the books for them a little with the Muhammad Ali Act. And they let them know, yo, this is what you're getting. This is what you can be made. You got a manager. You got sponsorship. You got all that. But Zuffa says, why should you be entitled to any of that money? You didn't put in a dime. We're taking a gamble that you pay out. Real business man model mentality.
Hey, Edwin,
Real
real
rich
quick.
man mentality. Shout out to the two
Shout out
dollar
to
super chat.
Carlos. He got two super chats in here. The first one, he just $2. But what he said, what's up, bro? Buffalo going to give those fighters under control. I think get those fighters under control. I think he meant Sufa's gonna get those fighters under control. I think that's what he meant. Um, Biz says create value to sell high. Jose says Turkey and Sufa would never replace the boxing model that's been established for years. Jacob says hi, best buddy. Start panting like dog, whatever that means. Carlos $5 super chat says I agree with you, brother. Sir Biz says, but one thing I like, Sufa, is that ducking will be no longer exist. That's Biz. That's something that they haven't proven that shit yet because they haven't really put a fighter. And the other thing that we'll never know about it because we don't know what Sufa's business model is. How do
Right,
we know? How do we know if they offered hypothetically? Let's just hypothetically, because again, it's all speculation. How do we know that they didn't offer? Let's just say Richard Hitchens versus Connor Ben because they're both at 47, and we know they're officially signed with Sufa. Let's hypothetically say that those fights weren't already discussed, and one of them turned it down and said, "Nah, let me get a couple fights in first or whatever."
right,
Those are things that we don't know. That's shit that happens behind the scenes, so we don't know if any ducking's going on.
right, right,
Unlike
right.
boxing, it's exposed. Yo, I sent dude a contract. He turned it down.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
so
With
to speak,
Super,
yeah.
we don't
Well,
know.
well, well, frontline. How about this? How about this? Right, frontline. See, here's the problem that I'm gonna ask the chat. Chat. I need your help on this. I need your help on this, right? Because I'm sitting back here and I'm thinking about all this Sufa shit, boxing shit, and UFC seems to be popping in the back of my mind with that one belt shit. Sufa, right? They got one belt, they got divisions, they're promising all these fights. But have you ever stepped back and asked yourself, what is the greatest UFC fighter's record? The longevity of a UFC fighter. Some of the greatest retired UFC fighters retired with 14 fights, 16 fights, 18. Any UFC fighter with more than 20 fights in the UFC is a rare commodity. Now I'm going to like 16 fights, you're done. 18 fights, you're all done. 20 fights, you're done in the UFC. So that means they put a lot of miles on you. If the only thing you can do, the average fights without title fights or title implications, you fight 3 round fights for 5 minutes, 15 minutes. The next tier is 5 rounds at 5 minutes, right? And that's the highest you can get. So if Sufa takes these boxers and runs them through a gauntlet, thinking that Turkey and Dana White's mindset is put them fight the best, fighting the best, fighting the best, fighting the best. What you're gonna have soon is UFC records. Didn't you just see the other night, Saturday? I think Green there. Green, the black dude with the tattooed head, didn't he have like 17 losses? He hasn't even been fighting in the UFC for over like 10 years, 15, some shit like that. He's been there for like 12 years, 13 years. Green there. He's got a ridiculous record. But remember, his record also translate from the previous organization he was in before he got to the UFC. They gave him credit for all those fights, wins and losses. So not all those fights were in the UFC. So he gets there, right? And it's like you took these guys, these fighters, and you just kept running them through a gauntlet, wearing them down. How long did Francis Ngannou last in the UFC? How long did the style bender last in the UFC? How long did Chuck Liddell last? How long did fucking Shamrock? Any of their champions? How long of a run did John Jones have with all the breaks?
Well, Edwin, so you got Carlos with another $2 super chat says, I feel Sufa building up their roster before letting the fighters know what really going on.
I think
Um,
so. I think so. Something like that. And I also think like I'm just trying to figure out what the UFC's model is. Is it gonna be the best fighting the best type model? Like my boy here, Biz suggested. Like Biz wants to see exciting fights like all of us. But the reality of the boxing is much different. That's why Usyk is taking this fight with this dude. He needs a break in between all these tough fights. Usyk needs this kind of fight. He doesn't need to go back into a fucking Moses Atama fight after his last fight. After you know what I'm saying? Like you need little dips, and I don't know if Zuffa understands that. Win, loss, or whatever, you mean to tell me that you can get knocked out in Zuffa, and right after you get knocked out, you go into the next tough fight. Is that healthy? Or are you supposed to do what Tim Zoo's doing? Tim Zoo went in a tough fight, lost a fight, so he had to go back, get himself a good win. Will Zuffa give you that breathing room? Or they don't give a fuck. You got knocked out, get in with this monster, the next monster. You get knocked out again, get in with the next monster. And if you get knocked out too many times, they throw you away like trash. Zuffa will only keep the guys that are winning around or entertaining or have that it factor. Because you could be a Nick Diaz, they'll keep you around. But look at Nick Diaz's face. Look at all these guys.
hey, Edwin, hold on real quick. Yo, anybody in the chat, block that dude for the dumbass comment he just made. Man who needs cookies, whatever. Block that dude.
Yo, $20 super chat. I think
Yo, I think they setting up the fighters.
they setting up the fighters. I think so too. That's why I'm a bit reserved in Zuffa. I'm from the show me state. You're gonna have to show me. I've been saying this the whole time. I'm not bashing Zuffa. I want to see your product. But you're not gonna come out on year one, week one, just sign a couple fighters and all. Oh my God, Zuffa's the savior. No. I remember on my grandmother's farm in Puerto Rico, I told you this story. She got them chickens fat all summer. She built them a little house, gave them corn, took care of them, made them a little pond over there, and the chickens were nice and fat. And one day my grandmother came out, like she always do, with her little cigar, like this, with a little bit of corn. She said, chicken, 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 chicken. She threw the chicken until that chicken got close enough, and she snatched it by its neck and snapped his neck. And guess what we ate that night? Chicken. It was freaking good too. Grandma can cook some chicken. And that's what I said about Zuffa. Listen, bro, I've seen situations look good in the beginning. I'm from an inner city where they do this to us all the time. I remember as a kid, they used to make these like basketball leagues in our projects in our neighborhoods. And we would come over there because they had little shirts and trophies. And it was all just a setup for after every game. The game task force had us all against the wall like this, taking Polaroid pictures of us and labeling us in games, even if we weren't in one. They just wanted to make sure they had every young kid. So when you grow up in their neighborhood, they already had you at from a youngin' in their books. They'd be like, oh, this is this girl's son, or this person, or this person. They set our kids up. I've seen things be presented as something good. These people try to come into your house. We're here to help you. And they tear up homes. No, Zuffa's not going to walk into boxing, disrespect our belts, try to tell us that this is the change we need, take down our laws, the Muhammad Ali law, and then tell us that they are the saviors without proving nothing. All you did was sign a couple names. Good for you. Am I that fucking blind? No. Am I dissing Zuffa? No. Am I telling you not to watch it? No. No. I'm just saying, prove yourself. That's it. That's all I said. And I got to admit, like, I'm not just going to sit here and just believe every sad story I hear. You know, all those guys are, the honeymoon phase is always the greatest. Everybody, Zuffa's the best. They signed me. They got me working. Let's see if you got that same energy in a year. Let's see. Or are you fighters being led into a slaughterhouse? We'll find out. We will find out. I guarantee you, eventually, Zuffa's going to reveal their master plan. I guarantee it. You know what I'm saying?
Jose says, who in the right mind would trust Dana White? Somebody's lying to these dudes. Carlos says, absolutely. God died for, I don't know what he meant by that. Man with the cookies or with the needs cookies or whatever. Dude, we talk boxing here. We don't talk what you doing in your personal life while you're watching a show. I'm not gonna read that stupid ass comment. Um, you want to talk your shit in boxing? Yo, you're more than welcome. We don't block nobody on this channel unless you talk about people's mother or write some ignorant shit like that.
What
Um,
did he write?
you want me to read it? I'll read
No,
it.
no, no. Don't read it. Don't read it. Don't read it. Who is
All right.
he?
Man who needs cookies.
Oh,
Um,
what did I do, nigga? He said, what?
yeah, that's what he wrote. But you know, and I'm explaining to him what he did. I didn't tell him to block you. I said to delete that message. If they got you, they got you. But we talk shit in boxing. You can talk shit all you want. We're gonna encourage it. We're gonna talk shit back. But when you write ignorant shit like that, you're gonna get that message blocked or yourself blocked. But anyways, back onto the chat. Shyla says, LOL. Carlos with a super $10 super chat says absolutely. Melasa, what's up, guys? Get lucky. Jag, they disrespect the belts themselves. Melasa says, if Super Boxing makes me money by big dividends, I don't care, honey.
Yo, listen, look, I respect competition and thank you for all the super chats, my brother. Carlos, how you doing, brother? Welcome to the channel. Um, you know, and I respect competition, guys. I respect the what Sufa's trying to do, but I'm just telling you that my boy All Facts clearly stated this, and you can go back, rewind it all the way in the comments up there, where that Facts has stated and made videos about this, that there were other entities that have done this very same thing. The PBC, they made a belt. They were a promotional company. They were paying a lot of money out to the fighters, and everybody was running there first. Tell me right now, is that belt worth anything? Hmm?
Nope.
Okay. What
You
happened?
know, you know who else did
So,
it, but they're doing it the right way is Probox. Probox is
okay.
doing it the
Yeah,
right
but they
way
don't
now.
got a belt. They don't got a belt type shit. Like, I mean,
They got the minor belts.
yeah, okay. Because their belt has not been recognized as a world title, whatever. Okay. So, but listen, there's a difference between Pro Box, though. Let's not be so fast, guys, right? Meaning, in the sense, why the fuck are we guys validating Sufa on week one? Why are we even talking it like it's next to the belts? Why? Money. Because let me tell you the truth and the order of shit right now in boxing. It goes the sanctioning bodies first, then it goes, well, it's going to go the zone first now because everybody's over there. So the zone is first, right? Then then it goes Pro Box, Box Lab, then I think Zuffa. Yo, Zuffa, real talk.
You're forgetting PBC before Sufa
Well, no,
and
no. Oh, yeah, that's
before.
right, because they're not with the zone. You're right,
Correct.
Frontline. Thank you. You are fucking right. Okay, so it would go Pro Box, Box Lab, PVC, Sofa. That's exactly the way it would go, actually. Well, actually, PVC would be above Pro Box and Box Lab. They actually would be above them. So it'd be, I take that back. It goes PVC, Pro Box, Box Lab, like that. That's how it would actually go. Right. I must be drinking on some funny juice. I don't know. So, but what I mean by that is the PBC has world champions, real world champions. There have been fighters that came out of Pro Box that became world champions. And Box Lab is right there. What fighter came out of Sufa and became a world champion? What legacy does Sufa have? What you were giving them too much credit when they have not have been established or proven. Pro Box is proving itself as a boxing entity somewhere where you can see real quality boxing matches. The new
Hey,
guys,
it's like
everything.
Melasa says, Probox is gladiator school.
Okay, yeah, but we get to see the new guys, the gladiator school of it. They put the best kind of fighting the best, the real matchmaking over there. So they're making it very entertaining. You could fight your way out of Pro Box. That's saying a lot right now because that's gladiator school. But Zuffa hasn't even proven itself to be at least that. It's you can't say Zuffa's gladiator school. Off what? Off Shane Mosley and Jail Pataya? Is that what you're saying? Or it has the potential to be that. It's just not that yet. You understand? So, in the order of how things should be, actually, Sufa, by blinding you with money and signing these fighters, all of a sudden they're what? Skipping the line? So, we're talking about Sufa like it's actually on the level with the sanctioning bodies in pro boxing. When you have it, don't even have the history of Box Lab. You don't got the credible fights, the wins, everything. No, you don't got anything. You got Jail Pataya going 12 rounds, and you got Shane Mosley Jr. at 35 years old, which I know that that's not going to be your next hot star, right? What you're going to try to do is win over the fans with fighters like Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Richard Hitchens, Edgar Berlanga, possibly Bam Rodriguez. You're going to get these fighters, but
Hey,
still, after that, you're going to have to prove yourself.
Too Rich the
That's
God
all.
says, Too Rich the Guy says Jalil Hackett said his Sufa check was the first time he got a full payout from a fight, and he was under PBC. Just saying.
Listen, look at that. If you
So
go
hold
back
on.
and you rewind my video, I wait a minute. I told you guys some of these guys are fighting fights and they're not getting all their money. Even Floyd said there's still promoters that owe me money for some of his fights. And that's why Zuffa comes in. They pay you in a salary, but at least you know you're getting paid. It's like having guaranteed money. We have that in boxing. You just got to get that from fighters and promoters, somebody to put up the money. Go ahead, frontline.
Hey, I think Jose hasn't seen it. Show him the Sufa belt. He's saying that the Sufa belt looks more like a wrestling belt than a boxing strap. Jose, strap on. 'Cause
Anything to bust out the super belt. But we have it here in studio. Super World Championship. We gonna go get that motherfucker right now.
prepárate, que lo que viene es candela. Puerto Rican rum, que es la que hay. Yo, shout out to where he at? Where he at? Where he at? Where he at? Where he
If you
at?
haven't seen it,
Talman.
if you
Talman
haven't seen
886.
it,
What's up, bro?
I have all my belts here. Hold on, let me put my
Strap
earpiece in.
strap on. Strap on. Strap your seatbelts.
Yo, listen.
La Sufa Cinturón.
Da, da, da! Yo, real hubcap. Listen,
Hey,
and
hey,
Kufa, you know how we do. You know what I'm saying? We
hey,
fight. How,
how can you win? How can you win that belt, Edwin?
how can you win this belt?
Yes.
You got to fight in a parking lot of Sufa's Choice, a grocery store parking lot,
Save a lot. Save a lot.
Save a Lot, and the event's going to be held by Campbell's
Yeah.
because we fight the first grade tomato cans. We fight tomato cans and tuna can, bumblebee tuna. Okay, that's how we get down. Okay, we dress everything up. The inaugural Super World title. Listen, I made this belt because I was fucking trolling and I was pissed off at Dana White
Hey yo,
when Dana White
Edwin, hold on.
tried to diss
Hey,
my belts.
oh,
He said the wrong thing to a psycho boxing fan.
hold
He
on,
tried
Edwin,
to say,
hold on.
wait,
You gotta put the picture up. Since I said I got a picture with the wrong Sufa belt.
no, this is the real super belt right here. This right here, baby. This belt right here. This belt right here. Listen, let me tell you, I fought the top shelf tomato cans for this belt. All right? All right? Listen, listen. Dana White came out and said, you know what? We're not gonna acknowledge the major sanctioning bodies. Bro, that shit struck me the wrong way, bro. That hit a nerve. That hit a nerve, and that's why I made that belt right there. I'm not really like, I am dissing Sufa. I am, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not really like, throwing their product and saying that I completely shit on them. No, I might be shitting on their belt because they need to respect our legacy. Fuck that. Ali had that belt, bro. Floyd had that belt. Julio Cesar Chavez had those belts. Marvelous Hagler. Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Robinson had these belts, bro. That shit has legacy. I don't give a fuck, man. Felix Trinidad wore that belt. God damn it, I would cut my arm off if I can go back into time and just talk to young Edwin. Because there is nothing to be proven as one of the best fighters in the world when all you are inside is a fighter. There's nothing else, man. Fucking my legends held those belts. You mean to tell me you came out and you said, you know what? Your belts ain't shit. Your belts ain't shit. Matter of fact, the ring belt, because we own that one, that's the best. You literally walked into boxing and said, fuck Ali. And everything he did. Fuck Floyd. Fuck his belts. Fuck everything. That's what you said. You know what I said? No. Fuck your belt. That's what I said. Until you prove yourself, don't shit on my legends. You didn't have to do that. You don't have to use my legends belts and say, oh, their accomplishments? Their accomplishments ain't shit. You know what? Oh, matter of fact, all their belts, all their champions were never shit. No, bro. You didn't have to do that. When Michael Jordan took over the NBA, he didn't say, fuck everybody else's team. He just kicked their ass. In fair competition, Zuffa, that's all you had to do. Come out here with your product, your boxing, whoop our ass. Fair play. Fair play. And we are in, and you would have proven it's a dawn of a new era.
Here,
That's what you
Edwin,
would have did.
I'll let you address this one.
But
Nas Logic says
fuck
Sufa's
that.
taking over. I can see the panic setting in already.
Zuffa taking over, the panic setting in already. Check it out, right? The thing is that, like I said, if you go back and you rewind this video, I think I've already said it twice, right? Where I said that I'm not scared of Zuffa coming in and throwing money, biting fighters, and trying to take over boxing. No, I'm not scared of that. I'm not. I'm wishing that somebody actually came and saved boxing, corrected a lot of the flaws in boxing, and maybe gave us a better product. But unless Zuffa does that, if they're just another boxing promoting entity making up rules in an organization just to line their pocket, well, you're no different than the sharks that have been here all along. What are you actually doing for boxing? The boxers, their longevity after boxing. One of the sanctioning bodies claims to do that, but what about the rest? So you only cater to the WBC fighters. What is Zuffa doing? Only catering to the Zuffa fighters? You're no different than what we already have. You're just blind by a new thing. You see, just like humans never being satisfied what they got at home, always going out looking for something new when they never needed that. And they're always blind to the new flashy thing with a good set of tits and a nice ass. Till you find out you were better off at home. All I am saying is I'm a bit more reserved. Zuffa, throw your money, buy your fighters. But what did you change in the sport? If you're no better than the very same thing we have in the sport, you've changed nothing but line your pockets. And with that, gentlemen, I'm going to end this live stream. I hope you guys have had a wonderful time talking boxing. Me and my co-host Frontline, he be on his bullshit, but I love him the same. And I love all your questions and everything you guys had to say. Thank you for your super chats. I donate everything I get right back into the channel. I'm going out to some of these fights and I will bring you live interviews and content from some of these fighters. Thank you for all the members, the supports, the likes, the shares. I thank you for it all because of you, it makes this all possible. So Frontline, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for talking boxing. I gotta go get myself something to eat. I don't know how long we've been here. Well, we've been here 3 hours and 20 minutes. That's an episode. Jose, peace, my boy. Listen, I'm on to the next one. After this one, here at Round One Sports Talk. You guys have been amazing. I love your boxing insight. No question is ever wrong. You guys are all entitled to your opinion, how you see it. And I hope we can talk as fighting fans, as men here at Round One Sports Talk. Frontline, you're always the best. Peace.